Welcome, guys, to another episode of Fireside Yarns, back from the mid-season break. Here, as always, with the boys, Reese and David. How are we, guys?
Very good.
Pretty good. That's what I want to hear. Now, lads, there's been a fucking shitload of things happen over the month we've been off. We had a bit of a break for a month. Middle of the year, we've been going hard for 16 weeks, 17 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Decided to have a bit of a spell, just to spend a bit of time with the family.
Get some shit done.
That's it. Do some things. So back at it again, but there has been some shit happen. But before we dive too much into that, what have you boys been up to? It's been happening for the whole month that we've been off, lads. Reese?
Well, I was jobless for a while. Yes, I don't know if we mentioned that in the last episode, but it's pretty much been a month since I left my job.
Not just to go out and be a bum, though.
Nah, just to be a bum. I'm just doing fuck all, really. Just living the dream, pretty much. I literally haven't left my house until today for like the whole week, apart from Monday.
Yeah, that's a bit unavoidable though at the current.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't probably.
Yeah, look, I mean, we've had a bit on. Fucking me and the Mr. Vincenzo went and spent a weekend up the bush, which was fucking awesome.
Took him up the block.
My car broke again, so that was great.
Oh, that's right. You haven't told Dave about that.
Nah, I probably haven't actually.
The one that you just got back.
Yeah, man.
He's got some stories, bro. He's got some stories.
I will say
that's annoying. That's annoying as fuck.
It's very annoying. I'm just glad that it didn't happen the weekend we were away, because it happened literally like 2 days after I got back. So
Yeah, what happened?
That was hey.
What happened to the car? Did it happen?
I'm not actually 100% sure. Okay. I haven't had a chance to go and have a proper look at it because it's currently sitting at my dad's house and I haven't been able to get there all week due to the floods. So I've got a bit of an idea, I think, maybe of what's going on, but yeah, I still got to go and inspect. It's probably going to mean probably a weekend on the tools to fix it, I suppose. If it is what I think it is. Hopefully it's nothing more. If it is more, I'm probably just going to cry, to be honest.
I don't know how you're not already.
I nearly cried when it happened anyway. Yeah. But, I don't know, what else has been happening? It's been a pretty eventful sort of 4 weeks, really. So I've been flat out. Finally got to go and see some live music again as well, so that was fucking sick.
Fuck, I missed out on that one, man.
Yeah. And like I ended up going to both shows, dude.
Oh, did you? You went to Sydney on the...
I went to Sydney as well.
Wow.
And I'm still sore. So, yeah.
Tell you what would have been fantastic would maybe have been an invite to the Saturday one.
Oh, well,
you know.
You were working on the weekend.
I know.
You dickhead.
You just wanted the invite.
I generally was like, oh, fuck. Oh, no, he was working. Fucking cheeky cunt. Yeah, no, it was fucking awesome to see some live music, and like it's been shit for me like since before COVID, man. I think like so it was it was pretty nostalgic too, man, because like it was so many people that I haven't seen in so many years. Like,
yeah, dude.
It brought all the old heads out of the woodwork in Newcastle, so it was just like a massive high school reunion, pretty much. Like,
would have been
fuck,
fucking
mate.
good.
I couldn't like go 5 minutes without fucking running into someone that I haven't seen in years. Like, it was fucking awesome, man. It was really good.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, fucking. I mean, Dropsaw, haven't lost it. Still fucking amazing. Just killed it both nights.
Luke McComb.
I think you had them on the last episode, right?
I mean, yeah, we would have. Yeah,
you named them.
Yeah. I think Vinno put him in his list. Yep. But yeah, McComb's playing guitar for him now and shreds, as we all know he does.
Because Sam's not there.
Yeah, no. So Sam's, I think he replaced Sam, so it's just Luke and Jason.
Yeah.
Playing guitar, still Roffy, still Ant and Jared.
Wouldn't be Dropsaw without Roffy.
Nah, So yeah, it was fucking. I mean, they killed it both nights. Mine Snare, man, just still same.
Yeah.
Fucking. I mean, they've been around since early '90s. Like, they're just fucking amazing, bro.
They've
Such a good band.
always put on such a good fucking show, man.
Oh, mate. And just the first, like Friday night, I sort of stood back and just enjoyed them.
Yep.
Come
Come out of mosh retirement on the Saturday, did you?
Oh, actually, I come out both nights. I moshed the drop saw on Friday. I was talking to Benny about it, and he was like, "You can't let me mosh," because he pulled a muscle playing touch in his leg, and he's like, "You can't let me mosh. It doesn't matter how drunk I get. Don't let me mosh." And I'm like, "Righto." And man, as soon as drop saw started, no, he didn't. He was good. He was behaved, not me. My neck was sore from headbanging. My legs were killing me. Like, just my whole body was aching.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and then Saturday I just went even harder, and yeah,
Do you reckon they'll do another run of shows, or there'll be more shows later?
Yeah, they said they're definitely doing more. I think they've got. I think they said they were trying to plan to do a bunch of shows with Mind Snare again in Melbourne, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But
I saw
some
comments from J-Rock saying how much he fucking loved doing it again.
Yeah. I don't
even
think
though
it'll
he's
be the
very
last
much
time.
a silver fox now. I saw the photo.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in ages, man.
It's crazy, dude. We're all just old now.
Well, if fucking people aren't moshing because they're pulling hammies playing football, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was a fucking cracking weekend, man. Yeah, like I said, still recovering, but it was fucking awesome to see some live music again. Nice. Fucking nice.
Davey, what have you been up to, bro?
I slightly better car trouble than Reese. I fucking bought a Jeep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's better, but no, I'm kidding.
You got a boat now?
Is it what?
We're going to need a bigger boat.
Can you hear that?
Nope.
That's mad. The songs from your phone won't play through the microphone.
Yeah, right.
I tried to play the Jeep song. You know, in the ad. I bought a Jeep. I bought a Jeep. Yeah, got that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Other cars falling to shit, literally. Like,
Was that the commie?
I had to. Yeah, I finally changed the tire on it because
I was going to say, can you please
for
tell
the
me?
trade-in. For the trade-in.
You changed it for the trade-in.
Yeah, I didn't want to fuck him over.
Bro, you
it never got under
pumped it up
6
and
pounds,
left
mate.
it. You bought a new tire.
No, I
to
wouldn't
trade
have.
in.
No, because I would have had to. The problem was for the trade-in, it still had New South Wales number plates, and I had to go back 2 days later to get the plates changed over because they were actually going to do the registration change up for me to the ACT.
Mm-hmm.
But the plates weren't ready on Tuesday, and when I went down, I swapped it over. I was like, I can't fucking, because then I'm gonna have to come back and the thing's gonna be down. But I probably shouldn't have done it. But I just had to switch it.
On the way to the
spare
dealership,
tire.
mate. Might have got.
Well, it happened when they were just fucking parking it up. Yeah.
Maybe they shouldn't leave screws in their car.
It did last about a day and a half though, looking good. You know what I mean? They do. I can't believe I left it that
Bro,
long.
what has it been? 2 months since we went to Head?
It's got to be 2 months.
And you
Nah,
still
it would like. It was
just
it would
pump it
go
up
like,
every day and a half.
Yeah. Fuck it. Stop for petrol. Stop for air. Done.
That's fucking red hot.
No,
Because I
that's
was
love
gonna.
it.
That's
I was
fantastic.
gonna do that because I was planning on getting the car heaps earlier, and then I just didn't because I was like, well, this car's perfect. But no, the diff. It is. I miss me diff. Hearing that little Wolverine purr. Oh, dude.
The whole way.
I would,
Dude,
unless
it
you turn
sounds like-
right. Unless you turn right.
Yeah.
And
It
then,
sounds like an exhaust leak, bro. That's what it sounds like.
it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty
But
bad.
it doesn't change with the revs of the car.
Nah, I'll be like begging for a roundabout just so I can get that little reprieve turning it. But I live in Canberra. It's the land of roundabouts. So
Absolutely. And they all go to Western.
they all go to Weston. Canberra's Rome.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
But yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Are
Yeah,
you
that-
loving the Jeep?
Yeah, I really like it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, it's fun. Looks nice.
Comfy.
No crazy. Yeah, man. Well, the last car I had is like in 2007.
Yeah.
So it's like everything's a lot better now. And even then, it's what 2016 or 15 or something. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Still
Fuck
nice.
did that. Got kicked out of my house, fucking because I've got a little baby boy coming, and the old place where I used to record obviously is a fucking
Bedroom now.
is a bedroom now. So
How is them coming along
out
with
here,
it? How's she?
yeah,
how's she
fucking
traveling?
heaps good.
Yeah.
Yeah, heaps good. Still due October 24th or some shit.
Yeah.
A little Halloween baby. Little
yeah.
fucking stingy Jack. You never know. You never know. But yeah, so
awesome.
fucking set up out here. Had to get the internet done up, dig a trench for the fucking wires coming in.
So you actually had to get everything done by electrician, or did you do?
Yeah, because it was pretty bad in here because I was melting fucking outlets in here without all this shit here. So I was afraid to actually plug anything in, because I had a heater that had melted a fucking outlet shut, and I fucking
shit.
they were just all going to shit, and there was a couple of them that didn't work and all. And I just wanted to make sure because I've got a fucking switchboard out here and everything. And
Did you say
so I
that the dude that used to own that place was an electrician?
yeah, but I
That's-
think he might have done his apprenticeship here. Because he's like fucking, it's like this week's competency is downlights, and he put fucking downlights out. I swear to God, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 16 downlights in this fucking garage. Why? I've
You
got
don't even
fucking
need
1,
lighting
2,
for
3,
this. You
4.
could just turn the shed lights on.
Yeah. Oh, but I would. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't look as good though. But fucking, I've got fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 speakers in the fucking roof, so I'm gonna plug that into some shit.
That's gonna be the party shed, bro.
Yeah, come down.
The Fireside
Yeah.
studio. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. We probably should do another Canberra trip soon, eh?
Mate.
Wait till you can actually get out of your fucking driveways.
Yeah.
At the moment, guys,
Yeah.
it's flooding pretty bad down there, eh?
Yeah, man.
It is pretty bad up here at the moment. They've
Before we get into that, though,
Mm.
what have you been doing, Vinno?
Yeah, don't sneak boy.
Sweet
You
fuck
can't
all,
get out of
really.
that.
Like we went
all-
we went to the trip. We went up the block for the weekend. I've been telling Reese I needed to get up there, and so when I've left the RFS, had to turn in my saw, obviously. So I went and bought myself a brand new one. And the other week we went up there and it got a run, but I wanted to give it another run. Dropping down, there's a heap of old dead trees up there from when the fires came through. The 2019, 2020 fires. And where the shed's going to be putting these trees are dangerous. They're overhanging it, and these trees are dangerous anyway. They're just fried and roasted. So we wanted to get up there and put a couple of those down.
I do actually have a video of one of them going down.
Oh, that's right. You were filming the whole time.
Maybe
You should
maybe
play it right now.
now.
But yeah,
15 minutes.
it was another opportunity to get up the block as well, and took Reese up there with me this time. It was just a good weekend. Stopped off at my younger
And I'll
brother's.
tell you what, quite the teacher. Taught me a thing or two about using chainsaws, mate. Like, I mean, I've used chainsaws before, but I've never probably done it properly. But it was fucking interesting, man. I had actually, when we were sitting around the fire, I actually had I listed off a bunch of things that were firsts for my life that weekend, which was
That's fucking sick, man. Yeah,
was pretty cool.
that was cool.
fucking
It was
brilliant.
a good
cool.
weekend.
It was
Yeah.
a great
It's like a
weekend.
father to you.
Yeah.
We even were picking out spots where we can set up the generator and do a live episode up there when we get the opportunity to all go up when it's not fucking
Yeah,
flooding.
fuck yeah.
But before winter ends, because it was perfect weather up there too.
Oh,
It was
man,
unreal.
it was beautiful.
Mm.
It was cold, but it wasn't like. It was very bearable, and like just sitting around the fire, man.
You
Like
can wrap up. Yeah.
this is man, this is how crazy it was. Like, I mean, we had a pretty big afternoon, really. I mean, not huge. Like we sort of took 2 trees down, and we chopped one of them up pretty good. But I mean, we had a few shandies on the Friday night at Ethy's place.
Didn't we?
And it was a pretty early start. I think we were all out of bed before 6:30. Or you were up earlier than me.
I was up 5:30. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
the old
think I
man
got up just
the
after
old man
6.
got to Corindai not long after I woke up.
Oh.
So he'd left at like 3:00 in the morning, man.
He was keen.
Something stupid. Yeah.
But man, it was colder at Corindai than it was up at Bendemeer
Mm.
in the morning. Fuck, man, like we walked outside, man, and it looked like it snowed, Dave. Like it was just ice on everything. And
Going up here for real.
yeah, and so yeah, we'd had a pretty big afternoon or whatever, or big day really, and we got to like nighttime because we had a late lunch and we weren't even that hungry for dinner, and we were just sitting around the fire having a couple of beers, and like we didn't even put music on. we were just
chilling.
We were just chilling, man. Like we just literally sitting around the fire, just having a yarn. Like I don't think we played music until we were packing up to go home the next day. Yeah,
which was hot as
crazy.
fuck.
Yeah, it was warm, man.
We ended up in shorts and shit the next day.
Yeah, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. We were fucking one extreme to the next. Like woke up, there was ice on the ground. Then next minute we're in shorts and t-shirt. Like,
yeah, with plenty of yabbies in the pots too.
Yeah, man, heaps of yabbies, heaps.
Fucking good.
Yeah, fucking good weekend.
Well, that was the first time you'd had yabbies too, wasn't it?
Yeah, man, that was another first for me that weekend, and pretty tasty, mate. Pretty tasty.
Pretty good. Really good, mate.
Really good, mate.
But yeah, apart from that, hasn't been much, just work, and still going with the challenge that you gave me a few. Well,
I was gonna say about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Sneaking that, boys.
Still growing it. Still going.
Rin
quizzed me about it. She said, "What's the go with the beard?" I said, "I've been asked to grow it, so I'm growing it." I'll look white trash at the moment, but I don't care.
I actually
I'll keep shaving mine. I think it suits you. Mate. Definitely keep the moustache. You've got a Stanley Tucci
absolutely
from Lovely Bones look to you now.
Yeah, but it doesn't meet up here. That's the problem. I got to wait
Yeah,
for it to grow
even
out.
if, mate, I would be very okay with you even if you wanted to shave the beard off and leaving the mustache.
Really?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I haven't seen Top Gun yet.
Try it out. Try it out.
Oh, bro, you gotta watch Top Gun, dude.
We'll see. You'll know when I've watched Top Gun.
Because you'll have a mustache.
Because Goose's son's rocking the Goose moustache, isn't he?
I haven't seen it yet, so I can't.
Mate,
yeah, not sure.
Seriously, dude.
Me neither. I have to.
Oh,
I'm not even a
bro.
big Top Gun fan. I'm not a big Top Gun fan, but I've just heard great reviews from it. So
It's so
check it out.
good, man. That like the just the flying scenes in it, man, are just mind blowing. And to know that that was all actually done, not CGI and shit, like it's
Incredible.
fucking amazing, man.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I knew Tom Cruise was a pilot, but damn,
he's in everything.
that boy can fly, man.
He's a crazy motherfucker. He does all of
Fuck
his own
yeah.
stunts. Like.
Yeah, dude.
But they said, I think I would mention it to you when you said you seen it originally, was that, yeah, they basically get heaps of entrants. Whenever Top Gun, the original one came out, everyone just flocked to the fucking Air Force in America and wanted to join.
Yeah.
And apparently they're seeing the same shit now. People are fucking, the traffic on the websites and all, people, it's an ad, right? It's an ad for piloting.
But
It's
so hard to get into that, like to piloting and stuff like that. Like, holy fuck, the shit
the
that they've
force
got to
of the
go
body
through.
gets put in for that shit, man.
But even the shit, like just the schooling and stuff that you've got to have. Because I remember when my older brother was going, like my older brother Reese was going, and he wanted to be a pilot, and he worked his ass off, man, and essentially I think he burned himself out, you know, trying to study so hard to get there. Like it's the cream of the crop, really. Then like to get through then the training and shit. Like
it's kind of like the I mean, it requires everything, like brain, fitness,
massive dick,
like-
like everything.
yeah.
Not too big because you don't want to unbalance the plane.
Well,
right?
the G-forces, it'll be fucking floating up beside you. You can't have
Yeah.
that.
You gotta wrap it around the
Never
leg.
close your eyes anymore.
It's like an extra person in the cab.
Oh,
We've got heaps of things we can touch on tonight, boys, and I want your thoughts on a few of them. So when we get to some of these topics, we'll I'll ask you what your thoughts are and what your stances are, because we have touched on some of these in the past, but they just keep rearing their heads.
Cool
It's
runnings.
scary. That was the first topic. But
Still shit. Go on, next topic. Fuck, it's cold out here.
need a heater
I
in
suppose
shed,
the
mate.
first
I
thing
do.
we'll touch on, but is these floods again that we're in. We've mentioned it a bit already, but for the third time in 12 months, we are in the Hunter River is flooding and breaching its banks in numerous towns. Not only that, but across the whole east coast of Australia, it's just been hit with more rain for numerous days, and it's flooding again. It's
Man, it
pretty
it
crazy.
was fucking relentless, dude.
dude. It
Right.
I was surprised that the banks didn't breach sort of earlier, with how heavy the rain was and how constant it was. And plus all the rain that we've had like already in the year,
Yeah.
to cop that much again. It didn't take a hell of a lot for the river to rise and water to be sitting around, roads to close. Like we're talking about with Dave's flat tire, the amount of people I've seen hitting potholes and pulled up with the hazard lights on, like it's insane.
The roads right now, even down here in Newcastle, man, are horrendous.
Yeah.
Like that, there's a lot of work to be done on roads, man.
So one of the questions that has been asked a fair bit is, what do we think can be done in relation to preparing for these sorts of things? I mean, we haven't had floods like this for so long, and then all of a sudden in 12 months, for the third time, we're evacuating people.
But I was there in 07.
Yep.
And I don't know if that was worse or not. But it kind of feels like...
So today was worse. So just before you go on, today it reached the record it has been since, I think, 1950s. When was when it broke the levee banks? Or they built the levee banks higher after 1940s or 1950s. So this is the highest it's been since then.
So did it actually break the levee in Singleton?
On the town
Darlington,
side,
isn't it?
Yeah, on the Darlington side, so all that river flat, it's all underwater. On the Hunterview side, so we went and had a look this afternoon. You know where the skate park and everything is? You can't see the skate park at all. The water's halfway up that hill towards Chip's old place.
Yep.
It used to get people out there in fucking water skis and shit.
Yeah.
No, 07 when that happened.
There was a dude fishing on George Street, pulling out. He got 2 fish apparently.
That'll do.
Yeah, flick. Don't know whether they're catfish or fucking cod or whatever, because they'd be coming from everywhere. But, crazy.
Probably carp.
But why? Like, it feels like, are we just letting people build on land that's like fucking prone to flooding, and we can kind of predict if flooding does happen, like it will one day, you're fucked. Because I remember the caravan park went the last time, past the Nolly Bridge, that whole estate was fucking just. So if it's worse than it is now, and I remember when it came up in Hunterview, but that was before the skate park was built. Fucking, it came up fucking
the
pretty
skate
high.
park was there in 07.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because I nearly lost my car trying to take photos of it underwater.
Maybe it was brand new if it was there. If
It was because that was.
I never played on it. We were too old, like maybe, but I remember
I broke my arm there.
Oh, you did. That was 2007.
Yeah.
That you broke your arm.
Yeah, it was. So it was only a couple of months after. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very. It felt like, it would have been brand new if it was there. But why? Like, do we not know now that stuff's gonna be? The water's gonna go that way one day when the rain does its thing. Can we not just say fucking or prepare for it in a way?
Well,
like, why are we?
The thing is,
this fucking house is gonna be there again.
But I suppose before this 12-month period, the last flood prior to this, I think, was 2013, and before that was 2007. So you've got years in between, and they've been bad, but nowhere near this level. I think. I mean, I'd hate to own one of those houses and have home and contents insurance, because holy shit, there would be just skyrocketing in the current market. But yeah, I just don't know. Like, for the third time in 12 months to be in this predicament, there's something's got to happen, I think, and I just don't know what it is regarding getting people prepared and looking at where we
I mean, to be fair,
build and
like,
those sorts of things, especially the conversation about climate change. You know, people,
but
people
also
will
to be
That's
deny it.
long term
like-
though. How do we divert
Yeah.
the water? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
is there a way of doing that? Like, if can we build dams and can we carve out a fucking real aqueduct or what? Like, I don't know what should be, because fucking it's gonna happen in 10 years from now. That's gonna happen again, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So imagine how long it takes to get your house from what those fucking houses are going to be like. It's going to take a year or two, you know, to get your house right and get everything like. And the crap, that water is disgusting, and all the sewage comes up. It's bad. So so you get your house back for a couple of years, and then bam again. I feel like the community has to fucking figure something out. Like, as an ex-emergency services person, is there something we do?
It's one of those things, though. It's the risk that you take
When you buy.
yeah. And realistically, like, yeah, it's shit. People have lost homes and lost things and, you know, potentially lost their lives or family members or whatever. But, I mean, if you want to live right next to a river...
Yeah, but they
it's
didn't
gotta
plan
be-
and put the thing there, right? You know, like someone got permission from a local government to build there. Like, you can't, like... There are a lot of regulations around building your houses in a lot of ways. Why wouldn't one of them be, no, mate, you can't build houses
On a
in this
floodplain.
fucking on a floodplain,
Mm.
and then
Oh,
and then
100%
sell
agree
them
with
for
you, but-
cheap to people, which I'm assuming they'll be cheaper, you know, like
Oh, yeah.
or whatever. Now they're not. Now they are, but their insurance is gone and useless. So like,
I think most insurance companies won't even...
isn't it a
insure
bit
you on a
predatory
floodplain, will they?
to allow a developer to build homes on those floodplains?
Well,
Or do they tell people when they're buying them now, look, in 10 years,
you would
you're going to need a boat?
Yeah, you would hope
You're gonna
that
need a
during
boat.
Yeah, you'd think so.
during the council approval process, that would be a conversation, and that would be passed on. You can guarantee that it wouldn't, because once the developer passes those houses on, that's it. You know, they don't want they're not going to have the responsibility of it. But more so the long-term effects. And I know it's been a hot topic about climate change and those sorts of things. And it's still ongoing, and it's always going to be ongoing until the issue is resolved, which I don't think we ever will. But about the significance of these constant floods and this drastic change in weather patterns in
Frequency,
the
right?
overall. Yeah,
It's happening, like you were saying, this is the worst one that's happened since the 50s. But they've happened since 07, 2013, 2022. Now it's like, okay, well, they're getting closer together, and now it's the worst one ever.
Yep.
And like you said, how many times in 12 months now?
this is the third time in 12
Wow.
That's the reason it's so bad, though, is because all the water catchments are so full right now that there's nowhere for it to go. That's three
But it's
times
crazy
in 12
that
months
we
to have
went
this
from-
sort of rain is...
We went
How do you
from
fight that? Yeah.
drought and water restrictions to the point where Lake Sinclair was getting down to sort of one of its record lowest points,
Yeah.
to turning around and not being able to release any more water as much as they want to because the river is chock-a-block, because of the flooding. Like, we've gone definitely from one extreme right to the other in the space of only a few years. Like 2019, 2020 was we were right in the middle of drought.
Yeah.
Like, and
Can
that
we
was the worst.
capitalize on this? Like, how? Like, that's what I mean. Like, how can we have all around the country even?
I'm
not
sure
just in
someone
one
is.
place?
Don't worry.
No, but I mean, no. I know developers. Lots of people will capitalize from what happens. But I mean, like, can we say, okay, we're getting a fucking load of water here. How do we capture that water and save it and get it to the rest of the country? Or
Yeah.
is there a way of doing that, or is it just fucking impossible?
I don't know.
Worth it, or
You would think, and you would hope maybe there would be. Obviously, you'd have to trap it before it gets down to towards Newcastle and Hexham, where it meets the salt water and those sorts of things, and becomes more of an issue there. But I don't know. Surely there is an opportunity there for that type of thing. You would hope, because but I mean, then again, the investment side of it. Do you invest a lot of money in this? That might happen once every 10 years. Yes, we've had 3 in a row now, but if it's not frequent, that's a lot of money to maybe invest in a system to reduce floodwaters that might only happen once in a blue moon. I don't know.
It's 9 years.
I
ago.
did.
Then before that, it was 6 years ago or something,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Like from 07
But
to-
so unpredictable.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We also had that rain in 2015 too, I think, where it got up there a fair bit. as well,
Yeah,
wasn't
I can't
it?
remember.
Your birthday weekend?
Yeah, but it wasn't anywhere near as hot.
Nah,
as what it
not
is.
as bad, but it was still a pretty wild rain event. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, look, there's 07 was definitely a big one. I remember that vividly.
Ashlolka.
Yeah, for that.
I think that was a lot worse in the town of Newcastle. Like, a lot of the town was underwater
Yeah.
during that. I don't think it was as bad.
I think
here.
Maitland didn't it? Wasn't Maitland's
Maitland
levees
was
broke?
under.
I remember
Yeah.
we were
Maitland
in
cops it.
Macquarie Street, worried that it was the levees were gonna break downtown,
Yeah.
and then we got word that no, they broke down the fucking.
Maitland
So
won.
we were gonna get a bit of a reprieve.
So they're talking about that
Yeah.
happening tonight in Maitland.
Yeah, right.
Same
I got
place
some-
again.
Yeah, so I got some photos today from a mate that I used to work with of Maitland train station completely underwater.
That's crazy, man.
But what happens at Maitland is once it hits the port and meets the ocean down at Newcastle and it's got nowhere to go, it backs up, and then you've got all of that water coming from the Hunter region. So Maitland tends to be the tipping point where it just, you get the black flow and everything coming down from the Hunter River, and that's what tips it over. So we hit peak at I think 4 o'clock this morning, and they were talking that Maitland will maybe hit peak tonight. So, but that might mean
How,
that their levee banks bust.
Obviously, you probably haven't been able to really get down near town, but
No,
in regards to the levee bank, have you seen how close to the top it is, like
Okay.
over Rose Point? No?
there's some photos, and I'll chuck them up.
Bondi
Now?
put up some, didn't he? As well.
Yeah, there's been some photos showed about like these ones that we're showing now, which I'll show you boys later.
That's shown now.
Yeah, but that's some of these are taken at the back of Chapman Slattery, over the
Yep.
old. So that's right up
Near the
against
bridge,
Levee
yeah.
Bank. That's the bridge level and all that sort of stuff.
All
Like
the
it's
netball
quite
courts
nice.
are gone.
Netball courts and everything, they've been underwater for a
Yeah.
couple of days now.
Yeah.
It didn't take that long for Rose Point Park to go underwater because of
Every
the previous
fucking time it turns into the biggest river.
Yeah.
It's fucking. It is. It's part
And
of
you
the
think
river.
about, man, if it's up near the top of the levee bank under that old bridge, man, and it's covering all, that's a lot of water, dude.
That's a shitload
And
of
it has
water.
it has a hump then.
Yeah.
Like remember that? That's like a big Teletubby fucking hill, man.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
as soon
Yeah.
as it gets a little, or even down near the library, that has to be gone, isn't it?
Well, that's
if
where.
there is a library there anymore.
So a lot of the photos where it's licking the levee bank, that's all the way around. Like it's busted over on the Hunterview side, it's across those farm fields. So I'll make.
Everybody out.
Yeah, they had evacuation orders. I think. What's today? Today's Thursday, isn't it? So Tuesday they had evacuation orders to get out. Yesterday, so Wednesday was more evacuation orders and making sure that or warnings for the Singleton Township. So Tuesday, the evacuation orders came for like Deering and those surrounding areas that are right on the river. And then Wednesday was when the notification came for the township of Singleton for people
I
to get
reckon
out.
Monday, Tuesday here for the rainfall was
Was ridiculous.
insane.
Yeah.
It was like not just drizzle, like, steady rain. It was like heavy rain for pretty much 2 days straight, like nearly non-stop.
Yep.
Like here in Newcastle, man. It was like even the wetlands down behind where I live, I've never seen them actually look like a lake, man. I went over there this afternoon to have a look, and it looks like a lake.
Yeah.
It was a crazy amount of rain, dude. Yeah.
And
Scary.
Yet again this year. This is the second time this year, 3 times in 12 months. Like, it's crazy. But
Vinno, from an emergency services point of view, like, so the times when you would have been involved in that type of stuff, or at least talking to the people there, do they have opinions of, because obviously there's a huge cleanup.
Yep.
Is there ever any big debrief about, well, fucking, like, or is it more like, okay, well, now we know where it's going, because it's not our job to make infrastructure and do this. Is there an effort to, like, learn heaps from this and be like, okay, well, this is where it's going to go? Do they have maps of where it's going to flood and what they're going to do, and have places where they
so
they have a plan?
Especially around this area, you sort of know the areas that are going to breach first, and every area, depending on where you go. Like down in Maitland, those guys down there would know where it's going to breach first, and be prepared for that. And you can prepare as much as you want, with the sandbags and all those sorts of things. So they're the areas that you try and get to first and get those people out. Hopefully, by the time you get there, they're already prepared. They already know what's in store, where they've got to go, all those sorts of things. So that makes it easier. The hardest part, and it always is, and I can completely understand, is getting people to leave their houses, leave their homes, especially, that when they've been there for a long time. There's a lot of memories wrapped up in there. All your possessions and everything are there. It's very, very hard to get people to leave their homes to the point where it can become dangerous for them. And that's not just floods.
And for the people that have to rescue them as well.
And that's it. Yeah, it gets to the point where if somebody won't leave, then you've just sort of, you don't want to send other people in there to get them out, because you're putting
is
more
there
lives
police orders? Can you be like, you have to leave or we're sending the cops? Or is it like abandon ship and then everyone for themselves? Like,
yeah, but
because it's not technically against the law. Like, I don't know. Like,
so you get the evacuation orders, but it gets to the point where if someone doesn't want to leave, it's going to be very, very hard to get them to leave. If it was
so much resources, right?
Yeah, if it was one person, okay, yeah, you can, it's very manageable. But when there's multiple people, it becomes very hard, and then it gets to the point where you don't want to put people at risk getting them in there to get these people out there making a conscious decision. And that's a tough call to make, but that's the reality of things sometimes. Thankfully, we, in my time when I was in the service, I never had anybody to that point when it came to flooding. It got to the point where people waited too long to get out, and we had to, wade in and help them get out, swim out, sort of thing. But by that stage, I think they realised that, their houses were gone, but they weren't sort of staying there till the very end, and that's where some people draw the line, till the very end. So.
And then when you're trying to escape, you've got less road, you've got less escape paths.
Well, the last time,
same with fire.
Yeah, the last time I got people out of a house when it was flooding was there on Waterworks Lane, ironically.
I was going to say, yeah. They knew.
So I had to walk in through the train line, and this is myself and my older brother. This was the 2007 floods. We walked in through the train line because the water was cutting off the road, and we went in 3 times to get these people out. When we walked in the first time, it was up to our ankles. When we walked out that second time, it was sort of up to our shins. Going in the second time, it was, about the shins to the knees, and this is in under 10 minutes between going in the first time and the second time. Coming out that second time, it was up to past our knees. The third time going in, it was up to my waist when I was getting old mate out, and I had a rope tied around me. My older brother was on the ballast for the train line, and he was holding onto that as an anchor. So I waded in, got hold of him, got the rope around him, and by that stage, the water was rising that quickly. Reese ended up dragging us out, but it was up to my chest, and I was sort of swimming backwards to get him out. And that was in the space of probably 5 minutes. So by the time we got the second person out, we knew we had to be quick, so we ran across the train line the last time, and within 5 minutes, you know, he was dragging us out just to make sure that we got all the way out. But it does happen really quickly, and it can catch people out very quickly. And that, you know, that guy sort of went, oh, I should have left. You know, I don't know why I stayed. But, you know, as he said, all his possessions were there. And he had actually wanted to get out.
You know?
Well, he said he wanted to get out about half an hour earlier, but he couldn't swim. So that was his reason for staying, was he realised that, I've left it too long. He wasn't staying till the very end. He wanted to get out, but he was stranded because he couldn't swim. So,
did you see old mate who built a moat and he ended up having a little island? Like, he must have had a fucking excavator or something on his property, and he fucking built a fucking moat, like a reverse moat, however you want it, like a little yeah.
His own levy.
Aerial footage has a fucking. It's just he's got his own island now. Like, he can't do shit unless he's got a boat. But he protected his house. Like,
yeah, right. Good on him.
Wow.
Yeah, you should check it. It's a funny looking site. But I'd say you get people stuck on the roofs.
Oh,
all that type of shit as well. Yeah.
Well, we saw that the last time. We saw people stuck on their roofs up in Lismore. I think there was a photo of a fella up there with his dog.
Queensland.
Yeah, well, just
when they went down in Brisbane, fucking people are on their roofs.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it happens so quickly. Like, floodwater comes so quickly. And another thing to touch on is driving through the floodwater, and that's been highlighted through these recent floods out at Broke. Some of the roads that just completely collapsed. And when you were looking at them with the floodwater, and it looked like nothing was wrong, but once the floodwater sort of subsided from that area, the road's gone. Like, there's no road. So, you know, people trying to drive through would have been dragged with it. But yeah, it's scary, and it's yet another reminder for people just to be aware, listen to orders, and I think we're going to have to start doing something as a whole to either prevent these things or come up with better plans for evacuation and preparing for floods, because I think maybe it has been that sort of thing where it happens once in a blue moon, so I will deal with it when it happens. But here we are.
What are the roadblocks for that? Is it politics? Is it like, by the time you've put the money into cleaning it up and trying to get back to business as usual, is it kind of in the back of your head then for another couple of years? Or I wonder.
I think that has been the general practice, is that, oh, well, the flood's been, we won't see it again for a few years.
Who do you vote for then? You know, it doesn't seem to be in a lot of people's. Yeah.
It was interesting to see some of the questions being asked to Albo and the New South Wales Premier over the last few days about getting involved. And, you know, you're always going to have that back and forth talk about, you know, the Liberals been in for 10 years, Labor's been in for 4 weeks. And a lot of the pressure is being put on Labor to instantly come up with a fix. Obviously, that's not going to happen, right? But
they have to start planning. They have to let people know and assure them that they're going to.
One of the comments made by one of the local councils, I think was up north, to, I can't remember his name, our Premier, New South Wales. Yeah. So there was Albo and Perriget standing there, and he said, you guys need to start working together to fix this. And it was a resounding comment for me, because we have had, and especially with the flow-on effect from America, which we'll get into shortly, but, you know, that back and forth, them versus us type politics, when the people that are suffering are the people in these communities. And that was a very strong comment, I think, and both of them, the response that both of them gave was just a nod. They understood exactly what he meant when this guy said it. And it definitely resounded with me. I felt it because it's...
Politicians are only as divisive as the electorate. Like they're all them are trying to say shit just to make people happy on one side or the other. You know what I mean? And there is a huge divide where, like you were just talking there about climate change. You know what I mean? And that's by half of the country, really, or half of the political side. Politics is completely against it. You know, and look, how do you work together? How do the parties work together?
Remove
It shouldn't be a political thing.
It shouldn't
You know what I
be
mean?
political.
It's not
and
a
I think-
competition.
I feel
there's
that
a time and a place for competition, but this is something that everyone agrees that something needs to be done. So
Absolutely.
it doesn't need to.
But it's
doesn't need to
agreeing
be
on
head
what
to head
needs
of
to be done.
who's going to do a better job of doing what. It's shut the fuck up, do what you got to do. Like,
But they can't. That's the whole problem. Everyone has a different. Like most people generally, I think most political parties have the same end goal generally. Everyone's got to be happy, healthy, all that kind of stuff. But it's how you get there, and how much money to spend on it, and resources, and what policy do you approve of. It's very hard. I agree. Like it's about getting them to decide on. Like everyone knows what the outcome should be.
Yep.
That people are protected, and that doesn't happen again. But how do you get there? That's the big issue. Everyone's going to argue over that, and what's causing it will be the argument, and then the solution to it.
And I think a big factor for that
bless you.
is,
Thank you, mate.
and we've seen a lot of it since Labor has been voted in, is big push from the media. I've seen quite a few instances where, and I'll mention the outlets, Sky News, trying to get that gotcha moment. And that pushes a lot of this us versus them agenda to a point, and it's for useless shit, for things that just aren't productive whatsoever. What has impressed me is the way that the Labor government as a whole, their representative, has dealt with it and just shut it down straight away and not bought into these extra questions and those sorts of things. But I think holding groups like that accountable as a whole, so not just Labor but Liberal government as well, holding those guys accountable for some of the questions and some of the things that have been raised, is a good starting point to removing a lot of this and being honest and fair with both sides of the argument and both sides of the story, because wherever you've got that partisan media that's only going to show or shed light on one side of the agenda or the argument, I don't think we're ever going to move forward. And I'd hate to see us to the point where we're like America and the way they are at the moment. So I think, moving forward, and I agree with you.
We have a
I
better
agree.
chance of doing it here.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I don't think
just
you're
like
ever going
America
to have...
won't have gun regulation.
Yep.
We did it here, and the Conservative Party actually did it here.
Yeah.
So there was a time when even the Conservatives here were like, nah, this is the right thing to do. And they fucking did it against their base. The Nationals, like people who are more pro-gun tend to be more country,
And that's-
people from the country, and the Nationals voters and regional and rural voters. And they kind of went against their base. But I think everyone basically was like, yeah, I get it. Maybe having a license is the right thing to do, and having background checks and registries, and and having certain weapons not allowed, and all these things.
And we'll
I
segue
think
here in a
there's a
second,
common
but that's
sense
just
here.
that's just a perfect example there of what can happen when everybody sits down and works on the same goal. They might not agree on the methods necessarily, but when there is the same goal at the end, we can achieve it.
I think like what Reese said, in the end, it's like there's only so much people will deal with, well, this is my idea and I want to do this. And it's like, well, this is my idea and I want to do this. It's like, okay, well, look, somebody get in power and just fucking do it then.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, then we'll move to the next thing. But
Yep.
we're faffing and lollygagging. And I think I think it would be so cool for the country if they got together, the two main parties and whatever, independents and Greens or whatever, actually got together and said, hey, everybody, look, let's just fucking figure out a way. I know we're all different. We all have different policy difference and ideologies, but let's just try and hit the reset button for Australia and just say, look, Australia, we're going to fucking pledge now. We don't want to be like that shit you're seeing across the pond, all across the ponds, you know, all around us. We're gonna start this shit with mateship. We're all Australians.
Yep.
We all have a common interest, which is Australians and Australia. So fucking,
let's start a
we're gonna
republic
try
and
and work
reset.
together. But that's divisive in itself, right? But here, I would want the republic to not be a left or a right thing. Like, I think that should be a partisan reset of certain things.
Yep.
But again, it's like everyone's going to find a reason to be pissed off, you know. But I would love it. It's up to if the politicians and the leaders, because they're the ones. Here's the truth: a leader or a captain or anything, they're responsible of the unity of their team. Think of any other leader on the captain on your football team, the manager at work. They're the ones that should get the blame if no one likes each other, no one's working together, there's bad results.
But it's their job to bring those people together as well, and
that's right.
And
they should
resolve that discourse that's going on.
Bad leadership.
Yeah.
It's actually pitiful, fucking cowardly leadership, because no one wants to leave their base because people are scared of losing their base too much.
Well,
but I think they would. There's so much to grasp from it. I think if someone went up and was above it all, I think Aussies would be like, yeah, that's it. I just want to move on.
Accepting the responsibility as well.
That's like saying like, Metallica should have stayed writing the same as what they wrote for fucking And Justice for All, or you know, like they should have stayed that way. So yeah, they lost some base, but they changed their ways, and look at how much they grew, popular wise. Like exactly like you're saying, Dave. Like no, but I mean mainstream wise, they got bigger when they released Black Album, right?
And you always have,
you know what I mean?
definitely. And
they might have lost a lot of their fan base from the '80s, but they'd enjoyed their thrashier, better music.
If you're a fan of Metallica, look, full disclosure, I don't really like anything much. Like I do like some parts of the Black Album, but if I'm a fan of Metallica and the people in Metallica who are artists, I'm happy with, first off, 4 classic banger albums they've already given me that I can always listen to. But let them be themselves. It's their art, their thing, right? So I get that with politics too. It should be a live and let live. All right, look, everybody, we can all believe what we want to believe, but in the end of the day, there are things that kind of, we got to keep this shit moving. You know what I mean? We got to find a way to coexist.
They can still achieve their agendas whilst getting the major business out the road for the betterment of the people. And
business as usual, moving properly.
I suppose that's something that we've seen the opposite of across the pond in America lately on multiple issues. But because you alluded to it before, we touched on it before there, Dave, we'll start with the one we've spoken about this before, but the gun control issue and the recent shootings again. We don't want to delve too much into it because we have spoken about it before. It's still very raw, but yet again, here we are in only a matter of weeks, with not one but
it's a point. It's to a point, man, where like there's literally can't be a large scale event or celebration without something like this happening. It's how are people supposed to live in the land of the free? Like,
that's right.
It absolutely blows my mind. And it's not just...
You can't go anywhere.
It's shocking every time it happens, man.
It's
but, you know, even when I saw this one, I was just like, what did I say to you guys? Another day, another shooting. Like, it's just...
But two. So that the one of those shooters had planned already a second attack later down the track before they apprehended him. So this wasn't just a one-off thing for him. This was a hate-fueled agenda.
Was it this Awake the Rapper dude? Is that who it was?
Robert Chimo.
Yeah, so he was the one who had planned a second killing. So he initially got away and they found him. They caught him later down the track. Apprehended him alive, mind you. I think I mentioned that to you guys.
Yeah.
So Yeah, a seventh person died in hospital. I think today or yesterday.
I read it
See
was
that little
9.
2-year-old lost both of his parents there.
Mm.
So he's just an orphan kid now. His just parents shot dead.
I don't want to say. Didn't want to say it, but that's very much a Batman story.
Yeah. Watch out. Yeah. But like, here's the thing. Everyone now, and here's the argument, and here's why it kind of meets in with this our flooding issue. Why doesn't like everyone knows where we want to be. We want to be where that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Or that happens not at the rate it happens in America. It happens at the rate it does around the world. Like in Denmark, when it happens, it shocks the nation. It's weird. The whole world knows.
Yep.
But in America, like Reese said, you get numb to it. Because you have people that, when this happens, they'll say it's because of his ideology, it's because of his mental health, it's because of his lack of his father, it's because of society's pressures on men, it's because of like you can keep going and going and going, but it's because of the availability of guns. So I think that the only outlier is guns, because I think we have ideologies over here. You have ideologies all over the world. There's far lefties, far righties all over the world. We have people with mental health issues right fucking here at the same rate as America.
Absolutely.
We play the video games, we listen to the music.
The difference is
we
the
do all that
access,
shit.
the ease of
Easy
access
yeah.
to firearms, right? And I mean, we're all in agreement with that, and majority of, well, I won't say majority because I'm not sure of the numbers in America, but there is a lot of people over there that are pissed off and asking for change, and there is the other group that are just like, as you said, coming up with every excuse and reason to not even talk about the guns. Like, they dodge that argument like Neo dodges bullets, man. It's
But they don't, like Reese said, they don't. It's like, okay, Republicans will come out and say, oh, it's a mental health issue. But then it's like what Reese said. They'll just, whatever you think the solution is, just fucking try it. Republicans are the ones that want to get rid of government healthcare and easy access to healthcare. So they're saying it's a healthcare problem, but your healthcare is your problem.
That's right.
And we're not investing any money into that. And we're, so
Well,
at the same time, they want to distract you away from something and say it's this. And then he's like, okay, well, let's concentrate. Yeah, it's the exact same.
Yeah.
It is mental health. That's part of it. But our people with mental health issues over here are not able to buy AR-15s. They're not able to buy high caliber fucking bolt action sniper rifles.
Yep.
They're not able,
so a 30 round mag, that can empty that whole mag in under a minute.
And that's what Reese said. You can't go anywhere. You can't go to a 4th of July parade. You can't go to fucking preschool. You can't go to the supermarket. You can't go to your synagogue. You can't go to your church.
Can't go to a concert.
You can't go. That's right. You can't go to a fucking country concert. You can't go anywhere. That should be where, okay, these are my people. Yeah. No, you can't go fucking anywhere because psychopaths are allowed at fucking random just do what they want. It's fucking it's mad upsetting. It's maddening, and
So
there was some gun
backwards,
control going through the Senate and the Congress recently. It's pretty much nothing, but it's something. So that gave me a little bit of hope a while back.
As long as the conversation
you need
is starting.
years of this.
Yeah. And look, for them, I think it is going, because it's so ingrained in their culture, it is going to take years, and every little step forward is at least a step forward, right? Now, once again, at no stage are people saying just take the guns away completely, and that seems to be that fear. It's the ease of access. Yeah, being able to walk
That's
up.
not the fear that people should be concentrating on, though.
That's right. It's
What about the fear for your life every time you go into a public place in America?
That's right. That's
That's
right.
fucking
Kids,
ridiculous.
mate. You know what I mean? Like, forget you even, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, stop. You can go and be crazy wherever you want, but it's getting to the point where kids are getting fucking...
But the argument...
It's unreal.
The argument that makes me sick every time they bring that up is those gun nuts saying, and it just feels fucking wrong saying it, but when they sit there and spout you're dead, don't count to give up my rights. Like, it doesn't matter to them, to a lot of these people, how many kids die. They're still not going to even discuss changing the legislation and even looking at an alternative to what is happening now, because they just think that they should be allowed to walk into a shop and buy a gun. No questions
Look
asked.
what they were proposing. They're like, oh, the reason why that happened in the schools, there's too many exits. There should be only one way in and out of the school. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude, what if a fucking fire happens?
Yeah.
Like, what if, like, you're like the clowns. Like,
What
imagining-
about one way in, one way out? So, shooter goes in, holds that door. No one gets
Yeah,
out.
yeah. It's
Well,
like,
that's
now I know
that's
where
the
to
argument.
stand.
They,
yeah.
You know, if you have one person at that door, and you can use this from the last time we spoke about this with the security guard at the mall. One security guard, he had a pistol. The guy that walked in there and committed the mass shooting had body armor. So that pistol was going to do fuck all to it.
Useless, yeah.
So once that guard's taken out and taken by surprise, and that might be a guy who's paid $40,000 a year, and as Jim Jeffrey said, there's not a lot of fucking wiggle room to be a hero, you know?
No, fuck no.
So once he's taken out, yes, if there's one exit, it just seems so fucking stupid tactically. Like, these people who are spouting this supposedly, who are, you know, all ex-military and all that sort of shit, and they're offering that as a suggestion rather than dealing with the actual problem.
Well, think about the idea is obfuscation. So they're not trying to give you a solution. They're trying to change the narrative just for that little window until we're not fucking talking about it again.
Yeah.
They're trying to filibuster you, because even that argument, they say, well, there should be ex-military people protecting our schools. It's like, dude, there's like 100,000 schools in America. How many hundreds of thousands of ex-military dudes do you want to fucking, you know, like, there's just, it's not that every solution they have is just.
A lot of those people are
and-
ex-military for a reason as well, because
Yeah.
either they've been
Yeah.
medically discharged, or they've left because they've had enough of that lifestyle and killing people and being involved in those situations. So to speak for them is fucking wrong, for
Less-
you know,
less
as well. But even
Fucking weapons of
suggesting
war in school. Yeah.
that, like,
As far as I'm concerned, pretty much every civilian in America is in a war zone anyway. So
well,
It
they
is.
They're
You
all-
should
they're
get
all military.
a Medal of Honor for getting through high school in America.
yeah, fucking oath.
You should. Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
you got a festival this weekend? Oh, fucking here you go. Use your Purple Heart, champ.
You
Nah,
made
only
it.
if you
You
survive.
made it.
yeah.
I
here's
survived preschool.
Here's your silver cross. Or
Yeah.
bronze. It's like fucking, it's
Yeah, it's
crazy,
just-
man.
It's
and
fucking mental. Yeah.
it's backwards, and that leads to the next point as well, which has fucking been aggravating. So I got off social media for a bit, or for the month, or roughly half of the month that we're here, but I ended up getting back on because of this discussion, the Roe v. Wade overturning. So the reason I got back on is because I wanted to see what was happening and the outcry from people, and it's just absolutely fucking disgusting. But
We knew it was
that is
coming,
the-
though.
we
Yeah.
did. We you know.
They leaked the draft. Like,
It's
Yeah.
fucking, dude. How
So hang on, before Reese, you're already talking, so I'm going to go with you because this is the one where I really wanted to get both your thoughts on it. Your thoughts, Reese, on Roe v. Wade with the overturning and the detrimental impact that could have later down the track.
And it's backwards. It's backwards, man. Like, how else do you say it? Like, as we've spoken about before, it's fucking, it's no one's business but the people involved, and to dictate, as we've touched on, it's gonna, there's gonna be fucking homemade abortions, which are going to result in potential injury, health issues to people involved. It's
Death and prosecution.
yeah, and you know, fuck, mate, what extremes like do people have to go to have? You know, I just don't understand what's the benefit. Okay, people that are pro-life and whatever, that's their argument or whatever, but to what benefit as a whole does it actually have apart from saving a life when you don't even care about the life once it's actually born?
That's another thing.
It's
They have
fucking backwards.
They have
dude.
the solution, but they don't want to.
They don't actually.
They don't want to
yeah.
help with that. Yeah.
No. So yeah, fucking. Oh, dude. Where do you even start? Where? Like, oh, it makes me so angry, man.
So, Dave, what your initial thoughts on it? Because we're going to dive deeper into this one as well. Because I think
Shows the,
there's a lot I don't know about this too, right? So
that's all right.
I'm here to
well,
sort
all
of
of
hear.
us really.
Yeah.
I think we can understand abortion. You know what I mean? Like, and we can
Yeah.
have that argument to decide outside of what.
I don't know what else is involved in the Roe v. Wade thing. I only know about the fact that the abortion thing's doing.
So it's a precedent for giving Americans a federal right to an abortion.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was established in the 70s. But basically, I think it's just all this just highlights the importance of voting. So Donald Trump in 2016. So the Supreme Court, right, represents the Constitution. So if something gets to the Supreme Court through the states, they decide, okay, this is constitutional or isn't it? Okay, and then whatever decision they have takes precedence and becomes like it's federal law. Okay, so states can't fuck with federal law.
Yeah.
This is a highlight again. So Supreme Court justices get chosen by the president. They get nominated by the president and passed by the Senate. Okay, so a president so if a Supreme Court it's a lifetime appointment as well. So if a Supreme Court justice steps down or dies, the only way that they can gets impeached is the only way that they can lose their job. And there's 10 of them generally all the time. Donald Trump got very lucky and he got 3 fucking picks to the state now where it's 7-3, or sorry,
Yeah.
6-3 or 7 or 7-3 or something.
There's 9 at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, because there's only 9 of them at the moment.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
so he ran on that in 2016, and I shared a video with you guys. I don't know if you've looked at it with him and Hillary Clinton talking, debating, and he said, "I am going to pick pro-life justices, and when they overturn and if I get enough of them, they will overturn Roe v. Wade, and it will become a state's decision on whether you can have an abortion or not."
Yep.
So that was his mission, and people still were like, "Oh, Hillary this, Hillary that." Lefties were like, "I'm not voting for Hillary because I'm a Bernie guy."
He flat out says,
And I'm voting for. And he okay, well, that was on the ballot. So in my opinion, I'm again frustrated with Americans because that's what you voted for. That was on the ballot. You had, Biden's not fucking perfect, okay? Hillary Clinton is not perfect. But you don't compare them to what's perfect. You compare them to an alternative. And that was on the ballot, and they lost it. It's going to take 10 to 15 years to get abortion in federal law. They'll either need to stack the courts, which I don't think they should do, because that's basically where a president can put more Supreme Court justices on, just to make it favour him. But that's a sense of
that
bad
opens up the
precedent.
floodgates.
Because then what if Trump wins again? He says, well, I'm going to put another 5 on. And then guess what? You end
up with 40 judges.
It's whoever then is president becomes a dictator.
Yep.
So you have what you have. It's going to take a long time for them to reverse that. Now, how do they do it? They can hope that some of the justices are being corrupt or taking bribes or something like that and impeach them.
Well, they're working on that at the moment.
Maybe with one, but that still leaves them out. Okay, and you can't just. These people are ideologues, and a lot of them are nerdy fucks that aren't getting up to crap. You know what I mean? Clarence Thomas, we can get into him later, but there's that. Or you can codify it to law. Now, what you need to do to codify it to law is you'd need the presidency, you'd need the Congress, and you'd need the Senate, and you'd need them to be filibuster proof, which means you'd need over 60% of them. So right now, there's in the Senate, they've got a lot in the Congress, but in the Senate, Democrats only have 49 versus 50 Republicans. But they technically rule the Senate because they have the Bernie Sanders, who's an independent, who'll jump on them, which gives them 50 versus 50, and then who is the vice president can have an who's Kamala Harris for the Democrats, because the president is the Democrats.
But this is where the
rule then.
the
That's not the
midterms
60
are important,
vote.
isn't it?
Yes, This year, now it's on the ballot in every state. So now whoever votes, if a Republican gets into their state, they're going to run on, I'm going to ban abortion. You've already seen it in the Republican states already right now. They had laws ready that were like ready to click over as soon as Roe v. Wade was removed. So
Well, they reverted, didn't they? So a lot of those laws,
Yes. Yeah,
like
the
one of them was
pre-Roe
I
v.
think
Wade.
it was Mississippi, 1902, when that law came out. So instantly that triggers the moment Roe v. Wade was abolished. That law was triggered. So
there are
for-
women with abortions booked
that can no longer get
that were
them.
turned away. And there's some people that are so worried about what their states are going to do that they're not doing morning after pills, which is a contraception. Really, it's before. Oh man, it's going to get hell world over there. And this, like I said before, the importance of voting. We get forced to vote over here, and both of our sides aren't really mental. They're not. Like, there's a couple of weirdos banging around. There is, but they're not. If they ever tried this, I don't think Australians would have a bar of it. Like, even like conservative over here, like even like, you know, Isaac Butterfield is kind of independent, right wing, centrist. Even he's like, wow, that's crazy. Wow, your gun laws are crazy. And he's an Australian right winger, you know. But I've no fear that it's going to be an issue for us over here. I mean, you did see some protests already when it was over here, when it was happening in America. And I think that was just to be like, don't even fucking think about it.
I think that
And
was
also to show
solidarity. Yeah, and that's a huge thing because, you know, I can understand Americans, American women. I just feel so sorry and sick for them because
Absolutely.
the position that they're put in, and they haven't.
Not
had a say in
40% of them though.
Yeah,
30 to 40% of them vote for fucking.
but
vote for these people.
the people that feel
And
like
are pro-life.
they're on their own, you know, that they feel they're hopeless and those sorts of things. I think it's extremely important. And I have seen, you know, people carrying on about us protesting over here about things that happen over there, because whether you like it or not, what happens there affects us here. But then there is solidarity. There is looking at things as a human being and going, that's not fucking right.
It's not right, yeah.
Let's make a change, right? Or let's show solidarity for the people that are being oppressed at the moment. And that's all that is. Well, not all it is. It's quite a powerful movement. And I think it
Do you just want to?
needs to happen a lot more, because the more, and as you said, Dave, you know, if we're protesting here, it shows instantly we're not going to fucking put up with this shit.
No.
So don't even try it here. But we're also going to stand up and try and help those people over there that are being forced, but it's essentially being given a death sentence by falling pregnant, and it might not be their decision. I mean, we all know about the 10-year-old girl who was raped by her family member, who could no longer get, in her state that she lived in, an abortion. She had to go into another state to do that. I mean, at what point?
Not every 10-year-old girl has the money to do that, and some of those 10-year-old girls are trying to get out for the day because a lot of rape and molestation happens in your fucking home.
Absolutely.
For some of those kids, it's not safe for them
But
to be like.
what
That's
sort of
the argument as well.
person- What sort of person sits there and makes that decision, knowing full well that it could potentially be an outcome, and it is an outcome for a lot of people
Well,
in that position, to sit there and
I
go,
think
right,
you have to
this
get
is
down.
no.
I think you hit the nail on the head. That's the argument. Okay, so
Yeah.
why do the people feel that the way they do? So you've got different levels of. There's not just pro-life and then pro-choice. You've people in the middle as well. Like, you know,
It's
there's a lot of.
it's a bigger argument than that. You can't just decide between two
No.
Yeah.
sides. There is, and we've spoken about this before, about, you know, the question about being, when does life start?
What is personhood? Yeah.
Yeah. But
But that's
to
the
define
argument,
it,
right?
to define it down to just pro-life or pro-choice, you can't do that. But
Where would you draw it?
I'm not a scientist. I'm not a
This
doctor.
gets juicy.
Right? Well, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a biologist. Okay, I can sit there and say, I think it happens around this time. However, there is a lot of things that I don't understand. I haven't studied. I'm not that in that profession, as I just said, to know when you would classify life starting. But, you know, the argument is it starts at conception. Then other people say it starts at 28 weeks or whatever. There is a lot that happens in that period, and those professionals in those fields know what happens in there and all of the issues that can happen. Like, I know what I need to know, or what I'm told when I'm having a child, right? As a father, when you go to these appointments and you go and see your doctor, they say, right, these are the things that can happen. We're going to do these scans to test for this. If it got to the stage, you know, where we were having an atopic pregnancy and those sorts of things, we would discuss those sorts of points. But I'm not going to sit here and make legislation, and this is my problem with it. A lot of the people making these calls and making this legislation are people that aren't in the profession and don't have that professional knowledge about it. The question about when life starts is a very broad statement, or very broad question that a lot of people have different opinions on and different professional opinions on, for whatever reason. Whether it be they're biologists and they deem that, you know, life starts at this point because of whatever aspect, or a doctor might say life starts at this point because that's when the brain function starts, or whatever. So I can't, as a person who's not in that profession or any of those professions, say this is when I think life starts, because I know that I will be wrong in what my thought process is. At the end of the day, I'm not a woman who's pregnant. I'm not a woman whose life is in danger by being pregnant. So I don't get a fucking say as to whether abortion should be illegal or not. Now, the health benefits for that are, you know, the evidence there is just through the roof.
Societal benefits.
Absolutely.
Having women be able
mental.
to just control their bodies so that they can do what they want to do and be part of the workforce.
I haven't even started to get into the social issues with it, about,
but what about,
you know, equality and those sorts of things. But I just do not think that anybody has the right to make a decision about somebody else's body that could potentially cause them death, or put them in a situation where that child is not going to be looked after properly, and it might not be the fault of the mother, right? It could be a financial issue where that mother just cannot afford that child. It could be a fucking rape situation, right? Where the mother has to live with that for the rest of their life.
Do you know what I was going to say? I don't really give a fuck when people declare when life starts or what their justification is for not getting a fucking abortion.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should all be around, what's the quality of that life going to be? What's the quality of the mother, the father? What's the quality of everyone's life going to be involved?
Yep.
Who fucking cares? Like, it's contradictory of me to say it, I know, because I completely disagree with the fact that someone can go out and shoot a bunch of innocent people, and I don't condone that people should be able to kill people, whatever. But
the argument is, when do you become a person?
yeah, but
because we know you can't kill people. So now we have to decide, when does the person become a... Like, do we think passing through the birth canal makes you a person?
Well, see, this is where that argument fails, right? On the conservative side. And we spoke about it before with the gun legislation. It's very much the same here. If they were so concerned about the life of that fetus, of that child, whatever they want to dignify it as, then they would bring in laws and assistance to help throughout that period for that child once it is born. And this
pay parental leave.
But the moment that child is born, it's no longer their issue. They're not arguing. They're not standing there advocating for health rights or health care. They're blocking it. They're not advocating for paid parental leave. They're fucking blocking it. So they aren't pro-life. You can't say that they are there to
they're
try
pro-birth.
they're pushing an agenda
Pro-birth.
that is forcing women to give birth against their will, and then not assisting through that, right?
They're also lawyers, because
Oh yeah,
if you were to poll these people, generally when you look at polling, people that are pro-life are between 30 to 45% of the population. Yeah, but when you know what a harmony test is?
no,
So a harmony test has a lot of different tests that happen when you're pregnant. When you're pretty young and you're early in your period, I think you can get it 10 weeks. But that has a Down syndrome test that can tell you
okay, yeah,
whether your kid is going to have Down syndrome.
yeah.
And what percentage of people do you think continue with the pregnancy after they find out, okay, your kid's going to have Down syndrome at 10 weeks, very early?
Fuck all.
It's like 99% of, it's like 90 fucking high percent of people are like, no thanks. So when it comes to it, so they can't have a cake.
And hang on, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That is a huge
we
decision
agree
to make, right?
It's hypocritical, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm just
Yeah,
making
yeah.
it clear for people watching. Like,
No,
there is nothing wrong with finding that out, because Down syndrome people are people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They are people. They're human beings. They are fantastic. They are lovely people. But that is
This isn't a
huge
Down syndrome person.
No, but
this is a clump of cells that has the possibility to develop the 99% of possibility.
yeah. But what I'm saying, to make that decision early, right? That is a huge decision to continue on with that, and the difference in raising that child, it's a different discussion altogether.
Yeah.
So there is
but-
nothing
but-
wrong
but
with
what
finding that
point-
information out and going, no, we don't want this
Yeah,
baby.
absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But if you're going to say that having an abortion of something that of a clump of cells that doesn't have the potential for Down syndrome is murder, and then having a termination at 10 weeks of a Down syndrome clump of cells, then your opinion is that you think you should be able to kill Down syndrome people.
Yeah.
So that's what they believe, because it bears it. And like I said, I think they're lying. I don't think most pro-life people, if they are in that live position of being raped, of being, of all those horrible positions you can find yourself in, I think that they would have an abortion.
Yep.
And if they were in those situations. Now, a lot of people, some people don't and are unable to have access to it, and they get pressured by people like that into fucking continuing with it. But yeah, I think it's very telling. And then you also have people that I'm pro-life, but I think it should be allowed in the case of rape or incest. So that's the same thing again. It's like, I think you should be able to kill a baby if it's this, or kill a baby if the dad was a rapist.
Well, really, that
your
comes down to
position
the
is
quality
still
of
that
life thing too, doesn't it? That's
What?
realistically, that all comes down to a quality of life.
Yeah.
Like, that kid's not going to know that it was a product of a violent crime.
Yeah.
And it's going to grow up with a mother that probably resents it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And although
God,
she would
could you
probably
imagine?
try to
Fuck.
love the child, she's always going to have that in the back of her mind. You are, because I went through a traumatic experience and now I have to be reminded of it every single day. That kid's not going to have a good childhood, man.
But
It's
that's
not
how
going to
you
feel
get
the
their
love of what a
hypocrisy.
parent should feel.
Yeah.
Like, it's... And I know that's an extreme case, and it's probably not the fact with the majority of the abortions that take place, but it's still a fact. Like, it doesn't matter whether it happens once or it happens 100 times or it happens every week. Like, that's still a situation that people have to live through. And no
But
kid...
it ruins their argument.
I can tell you
of
right
where
now,
life
man, if
starts.
I went through that as a child and I was coming to interviewed now and someone was trying to say, that abortion isn't allowed and that's why you're alive, fuck, mate, I'd probably want to have been aborted. Who the fuck wants to live that kind of life? No one. It'd be horrible. And that's probably how we end up with people that go out and shoot 4th of July parades. Because they've been forced to be born and grown up in a situation
And they have easy
in a
access to
broken,
firearms.
unloving home, and then fuck this, I'll just go out and buy an AR-15 and light everyone up. Fuck the world. What? It's just, it's a snowball effect.
And then there's, yeah,
Go,
you
Dave.
have people that say like, okay, if the fecal heartbeat beat bill and life begins at your heartbeat, but we all know we have machines now that can keep your heart beating, and we don't consider that life now.
No.
When you're dead and we have a machine keeping you alive, heart beating, and you're gone,
It's the brain activity.
we're like, okay,
yeah.
we call it a plug pull, right? And everyone does it with their great grandparents,
No,
and their grandparents.
Not anymore, if that's the case.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
well, he's fucking his heartbeat. You know, he has a fully formed frontal lobe. He's got you know what I mean? Like all these arguments suddenly go out the window, and it's got to come back down to the consciousness of it all. But
So do
again,
you think-
most doctors think that between 24 to 26 weeks, a fetus has like, I think, 80% viability outside of the womb. So that's another argument of, well, if it could survive outside of the womb. Because remember, you're arguing with these people about life. Okay, it's not we're on a different level. We're talking about quality of life. But their argument is that this is murder. So your argument to them has to be like, you almost have to fight them at what is life, and then when they bring up a heartbeat, you can bring up that. When you can bring up
Shouldn't all
their
fucking
argument, their argument
should-
fails for me instantly. Sorry, Reese, but their argument
There you
fails for me instantly because a lot of these people are the ones that are advocating to have guns, right? In schools. Not only that, the death penalty is a big topic as well, and continuing with that death penalty. So to sit there and say, you know, we're against murder, we're against people being killed, they're not doing a hell of a lot to prevent that for people that are actually alive. Removing all hypotheticals from birth and all those sorts of things. So the argument fails there. In my opinion, it's a control thing.
It's politics. Because here's the truth. Where's the fucking bodily autonomy convoy gone? Where's your convoy now, dudes? Where are all these right wingers
freedom-
that are like,
the
my
freedom
body, my
drive.
choice?
Yeah.
They're where are they now? Where are they now? Like, but that also, and here's the argument as well. That's a hypocrisy to the other side, right? You know, you have people who are pro-mandate and pro-vaccine and all, and that would call people that said, well, I don't want to put that in me, I don't feel trusted, you know, for whatever reason, religious, down to scientific or whatever, they didn't want to get vaccinated for whatever reason. Because again, with abortion, I'm not going to judge anyone for whatever reason. Do we have to rethink our do we have to meet them halfway there and be like, okay?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
So there's a difference.
Do we have to
there,
meet their logic?
There's a difference there, and this is, in my opinion, this is the reason why. So when it comes to vaccines and an abortion is a personal issue, right? That is to do with the individual health-wise. When it comes to vaccines, it becomes a societal issue, okay? Because the vaccine, even though it didn't prevent you from getting COVID, right? What it did is reduce the effects and probably stopped people from being put on defibs and those sorts of things. It also reduced the spread rate and those, you know, all these, that becomes a societal issue, the onflow.
But they think that this is a societal issue. They think that lots of babies are getting killed.
This is where I'm...
That's what they think.
But this is where I'm saying we don't need to change that argument. It comes down to an education thing. And I know at this point we can have this conversation to some of these people till we're blue in the face and they're just not going to even look at it. But the argument there about my body, my choice fails when you're talking about vaccines as opposed to abortions. Is that you're talking about vaccines being a societal issue where to operate, to be a part of society, you have to, well, it's expected that you get this vaccine, right? For the reasons that I've just mentioned, right? Because if you get sick and you get put on a defib, that's in our country, and over there, it was, even though they had to pay for their health care, that's taking that defib from somebody else, right? When it comes to an abortion, that is that individual person, and it's not affecting society. If that person gets an abortion, right? It's no effect on society, is it? It's going to affect that.
me.
It's going to affect that person. I know what their argument is and what they're saying.
They're
but
classing this as two people.
yeah, but
That's why it's hard. Because you can say, well, the vaccination it's not just protecting me, but I'm doing it for other people. So they'll say, yeah,
but that's
my
where it's a
abortion
societal
vote
thing.
Yeah. Well, they believe that that's kids been murdered. Again, everybody, I'm mad pro-choice. I just like playing that devil's advocate.
Yeah.
So,
to get
but
their
with that being
argument
said, then okay.
But this
so
is-
if
this
it's
is what I'm
about
saying,
life
that-
and it's about murder, are all of these pro-life people vegetarian or vegan?
Well, we're talking about personhood and humans now. That would be their.
Oh, so only human lives matter.
Well, we believe that
not unless they're black.
because we eat meat and all. You know, there is a difference.
Absolutely,
I think,
and I'm not saying that I'm vegetarian or vegan. I eat meat, but I'm also not pro-life. So,
But that's what I meant.
but seriously, like, what if you're so about life? Why are you happy with animals being killed for your consumption? If we ate humans, would that make
a
it
lot
okay?
of them would argue that they go and hunt their own food as well.
But that's what I mean. That you'll argue with them, and they'll move to the next thing, like the gun debate. You'll fight them and fight them and fight them, and then ultimately it'll get back to, well, I believe it's my right to have this gun.
Yeah.
For the Second Amendment, in order to rise up in case my government is tyranny, and it's just you'll get that, and you're like, okay, mate, whatever. Because then you have to argue. Then your argument is it's never going to happen. But what's compelling to me in the abortion thing is the hypocrisy, is the fact that they can. Again, these people class themselves to be libertarians. They're the bodily autonomy people, the sovereign citizen people. They're the don't tread on me flag. Go keep the government out of my fucking gun lockbox. You know, like they don't even want you to have your gun or you owning a gun on record.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But they want to be able to fucking have such a serious impact on someone's relationship with their doctor.
Yeah.
Really, like this is it's some pretty crazy shit. It's mad hypocrisy, but these are the people we're dealing with, and they're a big portion of society. So again, how we were only starting this. I think we when we got into politics a little bit here, we were talking about how people just need to come together.
Yeah.
How do you even start to come together with these people? You know, like
You can't.
is there?
I think with this in this circumstance, in this circumstance, you need to call it out for what it is, and I think this is my problem with the left. In a lot of ways, is they're too afraid to offend people to the point that they aren't going to call it out for what it is to a degree. Okay.
Some of the worst for that. They'll cancel your shit
Yeah,
for that.
I disagree.
They'll
with
like
that.
you lose your job if you say a fucking joke.
I'm talking about yeah. I'm not talking about.
I know what you
shutting
mean.
down-
You're talking about liberals. You're talking about like politicians, the
Yeah,
Democrats,
yeah.
the
Yeah,
Labour,
so-
and yeah.
Yeah, so calling it out and stopping it where it is as it rears its head, right? Instead of just ignoring it, we can't ignore this shit anymore. You know, the age-old argument is, oh, you're above that, walk away from it. But in this circumstance where it's borderline fascism, in a lot of cases, yeah, you could argue that it is fascism, right? You need to call it out and fight it and knock it on the head as it rears its head. So people like, say, Marjorie Taylor Greene, those sorts of people, right? A lot of the time they are viewed as, oh, she's just an idiot, but she has managed to get into a very powerful position. So this is where they need to be called out and shown up for the failure in their policies, not personal attacks in the sense that they get there to Congress or Senate and all those sorts of things, and they start going, "Oh, you're a fucking idiot," because you know. I'll use the example in this case of Lauren Boebert, where the argument at the moment is that she used to be an escort, right? I don't think that achieves anything. What does achieve something is pulling apart their policy or their thought process in regards to these sorts of things and completely destroying it before it's even put on the table, because the reality is after Roe vs Wade, the next thing on the table is the abolishment of gay marriage. There's also bills on the table to remove, essentially will cause the removal of people of colour being able to vote in certain states. They're already moving to try and put, or there's already discussion. I won't say they're already moving because I don't know if it's actually on the table, but bringing back in segregation, those sorts of things. That's the issue with Roe vs Wade, the broader picture. Not only is it affecting people right now, but it has the potential.
What I don't
to
understand
just
is
fucking put everything in that country back to.
what benefit? Who benefits and what benefits are there from going back to that? Do you know what I mean?
It's a control thing, and it is
like that's what they believe.
Yeah, it's what you like, and I don't mean to get into conspiracy theories too much here, but
get into them.
Yeah, look, I'll talk about it. So, America as a whole, and we are no better, but America as a whole is a very racist country, right? You've got the Ku Klux
and
Klan.
is a whole.
Yes, and you've got the Ku Klux Klan. You know, you've got slavery histories of that, right? Then you look at post World War II, where a lot of Nazi scientists and Nazi masterminds, so to speak, are brought over to America. Hence, where you've got the rocket age, the industrial age, right?
Operation Paperclip.
Yes. So they brought them over, but
Project,
so even though they are very intelligent people, they still hold those Nazi ideologies, right? And they can argue till they're blue in the face, and they can put on the show as much as they want, but they were part of that Nazi regime. So the flow-on effect from that is white supremacy. And for me, looking at a lot of these rulings and these laws, and then having a look at the basis of fascism and Hitler's ideology, they're ingrained and they're fucking mixed together, right? Control is the most important thing, and having control, one over women, then minority groups, and those sorts of things to promote the Aryan race, so to speak. That is my as I said, without getting into conspiracies, that is my thought as to where a lot of this has come from, and the boosting of a lot of these racial issues over there. They've always been there, yes, but they've more so risen their heads lately because of Donald Trump, and he has opened the pathway for a lot of these people to just say whatever the fuck they want and to take the masks off and show who they are because of the shit that he used to say and got away with.
So the only thing that would stop me from obviously considering it fascist is because it is completely democratic. So Donald Trump, it was like we talked about earlier.
At the moment,
it was on the ballot. It was on the ballot, and Americans voted for Trump.
Yep. How did Hitler get in there?
He actually didn't have a majority.
No, but it was originally through the democratic process.
And
he got beaten in the first instance, went to jail because they rose up and all those sorts of things.
They murdered dissidents in
that's
their party and stuff like that. Like
but it's getting
the problem. Yeah.
When you look at the fascist manuscript, right, or what fascism is, and that's why I refer to it as that, is the steps and the ideologies are very, very similar to what's being pushed forward here. Democracy
manifest.
Succulent Chinese
Skills.
meals.
Have you seen those T-shirts? I want one.
A succulent Chinese meal.
That just rears its head every 12 months. It's so good.
It should. It should do.
It should do.
But look, democracy leads like you can't.
There's a lot of things they do that are fascist.
They know that fascism is not going to be tolerated, right? So they can't just walk in with a fascist ideology or a system. It has to work its way in there democratically, and then break down the idea of democracy. We saw that with January 6th insurrections, which I was actually going to speak to you about those hearings and all that too, if we get time. But then with this Roe versus Wade overturning and some of the, well, actually one of the bills that's on the table at the moment in front of the Supreme Court could potentially water down the democratic process in a lot of states.
Because of gerrymandering.
Yes. So that's where democracy has led to fascism's rise once again. If this
But
gets
that's what
through.
people vote for. They're playing the
I know,
same
I
game.
know, I know.
It's the fact that people, it's the divide. So instead of, we need to be working on changing hearts and minds, but we're not. Whatever we're doing is not working. And they're playing by the same. They're winning the elections, so that means they get to choose the judges, and they get to write the laws.
But they've won one election. That's the thing. Like it's.
Yeah, and he
all
got
I
3
need.
Supreme Court justices.
know,
That's
that's-
all you need.
I know.
And he ran on it and won though. But that's a political mandate. If I say I'm running on this, vote for me, and I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
That's democracy, because
But where it
that's
fails.
what they're supposed to represent the will of the people. And America, I know they're pissing and moaning now, but that was the will. Now they voted for Joe Biden then. Yeah. But they still didn't vote for him by a margin that would allow him to change anything.
Yeah.
So you still have half the country that like if they get what they want, one side's going to consider them fascist, and then you've the other side that if they get in charge and then put what they want, then they're going to call them fascists.
But what I don't
Everyone hates
understand-
democracy when they're losing.
What
You
I
know
don't
I mean? But-
understand this like with America's politics, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Republicans haven't won the popular vote in about 30 years plus. Now the popular vote,
That's true. George H.W. Bush won the popular vote the
Okay.
second time.
so that'd be
But it doesn't matter. The popular vote doesn't. If the popular vote only mattered, then politicians would. Then New York, California, and Texas would choose what happens in the whole country.
yeah. No, and
So
this,
what the electoral college is they have to win the most amount of states. So they still have to win to win Texas, you have to win the majority of Texans.
Yes.
To win Massachusetts, you have to win the majority of Mass. So it is democracy. It's just that the states, and they don't have an equal vote. Like Vermont has like 2 electoral college votes,
Yep.
whereas California or Texas has 38. So it is to do with them. But I like
So
the
it's-
electoral college system, because I
See,
do
I
think
don't-
that it means that you can't forget about Iowa. You can't forget about Delaware. You know what I mean? Like,
but the majority
every
of people
state-
at the end of the day don't have the biggest say, do they?
then California would decide what happens in Oklahoma, and New York would decide what happens in, so that's the idea of it. Or
yeah.
that's the idea of having a United States.
I get
is
the
we'll come
idea of
together,
it.
yeah.
I get the idea of it, but I feel that
Like, we don't have a popular vote here.
no, but we're not based state by state, though, are we?
Pretty much, yeah.
But it's not.
Different licenses
Well, I mean,
even for states.
we definitely operate differently. Look at all the different rules through COVID
Yeah.
from state to state.
We're completely
Well, that's
different.
yeah, that's.
We don't
I'm
even
talking
choose
about
our
voting
leader.
rights.
You know what I mean?
Talking
We
about
don't
voting.
choose our leader. We choose parties. Again, you have to win the hunter. You know what I mean? But then Sydney and Melbourne would decide what happens in Perth. You know what I mean? Like, so it wouldn't work. You know
Well,
what I
we
mean? Each
essentially
state
had
has
that
their own
with-
states. Right?
Yeah, I just
You know,
don't.
so I understand, like, Democrats win the popular vote because big cities tend to be more liberal. They just are. So the big cities, even in Georgia, Biden won, or like Dallas, Houston, Texas, all right, is a fucking liberal city. But they also, that's why Texas is kind of going purple now, because their city is growing. Do you know what I mean? So purple means kind of centrist, and they'll probably go blue one day. They'll
Maroon.
probably go blue one day. Yeah, maroon.
Yeah.
But that's you will not get Americans to allow 2 of the big, New York and California, to decide what happens in fucking, Oklahoma and Nebraska and,
Look, I get-
and Alabama. They're not gonna like the interest, and nor should they really, because my interest as a Californian is probably different than my interest as a Mississippian mudslinger.
I get that,
But,
but I can also understand the frustration in the
Yeah,
fact that smaller states that are very, very red states, so to speak, have double the say of, say, California. I think.
but they don't.
Well, with two,
So, like I said,
two-
Vermont
two
has
votes to
2
one.
electoral college votes,
Yep.
and California has 30, 40 something.
Okay.
So if you're talking about per capita, it probably is around the same.
Right.
Now, where that gets weird, like, it's not a perfect process because you can have 2 outcomes, right? So Hillary Clinton got
Voter
millions
fraud.
more votes. Yeah, but yeah, that's right. But Hillary Clinton literally had millions more votes than Donald Trump, and Donald Trump ran around like he smashed her. Okay, and then Biden won the popular vote and the electoral college, and Donald Trump's like, it's too close to call. It's, you know what I mean? Like the popular vote is an optics thing. It's like a knockout.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like I got the majority of Americans and I won the majority of states, because it's a republic. It's a United States. You know what I mean? It's not one. It's too big. You know what I mean? Like, it is too big to be one country, really, because somebody in New York is completely different to someone in fucking El Paso, Texas. You know what I mean? Like, and their interests are different and their needs are different, even from a geographical standpoint, and a drought and water and infrastructure and weather and energy and all of that, and who they have to deal with on their border, and like trade wise.
It's crazy too, because like all the way that they're taxed and everything's different state to state over there. Hey,
Yeah. Everything's
Like, it's
different. That's why the
so-
state gun laws are bollocks.
Yeah.
Because because they don't have state borders that are like fucking Trump border walls. You can fucking go hop. You know what I mean? And
Well,
we
this
know,
is it.
like,
This
I
is the
cross the
argument
border
with
every
that.
day.
Yeah.
I cross the border twice a day. You know. Like,
yeah.
So that's why I'm a big fan of
It's a
federal
failed.
shit.
It's a failed argument with it as far as gun laws with the states, and having individual
Yeah.
states stronger. It needs to be a national, federal thing there. But yeah, as far as the voting over there, I just, I don't know. As a voter over there, I think I would get frustrated in the fact that, even though the majority of people are voting for a particular party, it's
But they get
and
your
I don't
state
know. I
votes.
don't know whether I'm looking at that because of recent events in regards to, the Supreme Court, where, the majority of people are wanting abortion to be legal, and it's a small minority that have changed that.
But they didn't. The majority, like, think of how much Americans vote. There's 300 million Americans, and they barely vote. It's
Yeah,
the
but
people
when
that are the
you-
most passionate. They go out
Yeah.
there and they vote.
I'm talking
And
about.
whoever's
I'm
gonna-
talking about an abortion as an issue. I think I've read. The
Yeah,
other
but
day,
that's
it was 72%.
it's now. It's a political on the
Yeah, yeah.
ballot issue.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
In
So
America,
you-
over here it isn't.
the midterms you
not over
might
here.
see, and I'm hoping you do see, an influx of people voting. But when it comes to asking that question from a social aspect, right? Yes, I think I read, like I said the other day, 72% of Americans were for abortion, and the minority was
Or
against.
pro-choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So-
some of those wouldn't have an abortion themselves. That's another thing. There are people that are like,
but they don't have to. So
I don't like abortion, but it's not my choice. It's not my business. And I love those people.
Just how
Like,
everyone
I
should
can
be.
I
Nothing
can
wrong
argue
with
with
that.
those people about when life begins.
That's no
But
different.
they're not going to tell me what to do.
That's no
me,
different to
you know.
somebody. So, like, for me, for instance, I'm not going to tell somebody that they can't be religious, but I'm not religious, and I'm not going to practice religion or any type of religion, and I'm not going to stand there and say to somebody, right, you can't be religious anymore. Right? That is, like, I think that's just basic human behavior, where if you don't like something and it's not, you don't have to do it. You don't have to engage in it, right? I know people don't like a lot of people don't like heavy music, but I do. But I'm not going to go around and blast it on my fucking speakers and force everybody to to adhere to what I think is good.
Reese will.
If you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. Well, look, you can, but
But
you know that basic principle goes with a lot of things, except when you start talking about mass shootings, right? When you can't say, "Oh, I like mass shootings, so everyone should do one," because that's just not the way. But I don't know. It's that argument right there. When it comes to women's reproductive systems, it should come down to the woman and her partner, if that person is there, being a group decision. First and foremost, it should be the woman. It's her body. She has the choice with what happens to her body. And this argument comes up with vasectomies, right? Stop it at the source. Every bloke gets a vasectomy. It can be reversed. And instantly the reaction is, I'm not going to do that. Right? It shouldn't be asked. It shouldn't be asked of a female to be forced to go through with a pregnancy. I know it's a complex topic and that you got to bring in all those different aspects to it, but it comes down, in my opinion, to a very, very basic standpoint. It's the individual's choice, whether that be medical, whether that be personal, whether that be financial, whatever. It comes down to that person who is having that procedure done to make that call, and nobody else should be getting in there and saying no. Doctors absolutely should be advising on what to do, but in no stage should politicians and other people
They have
be
to.
standing out the front
Because
and saying,
you said it
"You
yourself
can't do this."
earlier. Doctors disagree.
I'm talking about their individual doctor. I'm talking about like if you were my doctor and I walked into you and I said I want to get an abortion. If you turned around and said to me, I advise that you don't, I've got the freedom and the choice to go and see another doctor.
Yep.
Right? But it shouldn't be state
What if you live in
mandated.
Mississippi and all your doctors don't? You know what I mean? You should have a government like a Planned Parenthood that has a law backing it up that says we are allowed to do this. So that's where politicians. It has to be. I don't even like.
That's what Roe vs. Wade was. I don't
on
think
a state level.
Yeah,
You could still. There was still problems when Roe versus Wade was there. There was still problems in states because they were doing what they can to make it hard to access abortions.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it shouldn't.
So they needed government buildings where women could go and do those.
Mate, I might need to be clearer when I say shouldn't be political. It shouldn't be. And it's hard to take that personal side out of politics because it's always going to happen when you come down to
all politics is personal.
It is, yeah. It should be, and I'll stand by it. That should be between the woman that goes in for the abortion or to speak to her doctor about that and nobody else. It should be, in my opinion, legal to do with, that person having all the information from her doctor, nobody else. That's it. So if a woman walks into a clinic and says, I want to get an abortion, and the doctor says, okay, let's go through
What's your
everything.
name?
Let's go through everything. Yep. Why do you want it? Is it whatever? Not questioning her in the sense that, no, we're going to make you go through with this, but to clarify that is what they want. For whatever reason, not intruding. And it should come down to doctor and patient confidentiality. So, I mean, once again, it's three white dudes talking about.
Yeah, but they need our votes.
Oh, look,
we need more people's votes too. So it is important that everybody talks about it, and that you do try to, when you have these arguments with people or these discussions with people, you try and hold people accountable and have a good civil discussion about it, because no one's minds are going to be changed to be pro-choice by being badgered or being called names or anything like that. You have to have a discussion with them where you take on board what they're saying and you try and change their mind. Because right now, and again, the problem I believe with the left is we're pushing people away. Because if someone doesn't agree with something on the left and they don't understand it, whether it's trans people, whether it's abortion, whether it's guns or anything like that, the left will will kick you to the curb. You will not get a job in Disney. You will like.
It wasn't until you said. Wasn't until you said what left people. I meant when you said they'll fucking shit on
left-handed people.
I meant like left politics on the left, not leftists are ruthless, man. Like
that's and I can't blame them. Like I'll get into a heated debate with a leftist. I was like, fuck these cunts. You know what I mean? Like, and then you don't want to stand up for them anymore. I don't even want to talk to them anymore. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, you're ridiculous. You're so bad. You're pushing people away that you're going to end up giving power to that. Like, that's how Trump got in office. People were so upset that Bernie lost, and he was of the left. And Hillary Clinton comes in, who was like a centrist. Now, centrists in America, like a Hillary Clinton center progressive, would protect Roe v. Wade. She will make, she was going to, healthcare. She was going to improve on Obamacare. She was going to. But again, people were so, she's not left enough for me. No, she said this back in 1990. Yeah. It's like, no, if you let other dude win, you know what I mean? So
this
the purity politics of the left, it pushed away Joe Rogan, it pushed away Dave Chappelle, who were lefties or progressive dudes. Now they're talking about voting for Ron fucking DeSantis.
It comes down to the old saying. Because they hate us. Comes down to the old saying of cut your nose off to spite your face, doesn't it? Like, exactly.
We have to come together and say this isn't working. This fighting is not working. Although it is working for them because the right wing is good at coming together. Not all the right wing did not like Trump, but they said fuck it. I'm not voting Democrat. You know what I mean? Because their interests,
fear and hatred are powerful, aren't they? In drawing people.
Exactly. Demagogues like Trump. That's how they make their beans. They got to keep people scared, and you got to say they're going to do the scary thing, and me and us, we're the only people that are going to fucking be able to fix this. Look what they're trying to do to our country. Let's make it great again. Yeah. You know what I mean? And people are like, yeah, because I remember when I was a kid and I didn't have taxes and I didn't have any responsibility. It was great.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? The 80s was great, and in some days it was. Remember when everyone could afford a house? You know what I mean? And they harken back to the old days. Conservative arguments really work with people. And with the trans debate, like it's so, and I love trans, I hate to say I love trans people because I don't know all trans people. I hate that it's got to that, but I respect trans people and stuff. But if you go into any right wing or even a sports web page or anything like that, you talk to most people, it's become so politicized because it's part of a party. And they don't want to hear the left unless the left comes or someone talks to them and comes to their level a bit first. And then you can start talking about stuff like with abortion. Most pro-lifers, you could talk to them well, what about rape or incest? Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do that. What about the harmony test? Yeah, well, that's different. And like you can kind of creep in, you know what I mean? Yeah. And argue it on their point of view. Like guns, we could say, like, what was another thing? Oh, what about that guy who ran over those protesters in his trucks? You're going to ban trucks? It's like, no, but I'm going to make sure you have to have a license to drive one. If it's a very big truck, you're going to need a special license. You're going to need a photo ID. You know what I mean? We're going to have regulations about how fast you can drive and about where you can, like, so
the condition of that vehicle.
Exactly right. So you have to kind of meet them in the middle. Yeah.
This is what I was thinking about today. There's been a massive emphasis on gotcha moments, so to speak, about, during all these arguments, the focus is on getting that one gotcha moment rather than talking through to a solution. Do you think that that's a huge influence on it, or do you think that that's just gotten to that point due to frustration and moving away from...
Gotchas have always been around.
Yeah, but problem is everyone more of a focus on it now to get that with social media and having that exposure to here's my gotcha moment.
Gotchas don't matter anymore, in my opinion. I think they only matter for the political side you're on.
Okay.
So, if I support Donald Trump,
Yep.
and someone's like, "Oh, we got Donald Trump saying this," if I'm a supporter of Donald Trump, I'm going to be like, "Actually, no, this is what really happened. Don't believe the lefties. You know, they're not going to get the gotcha." If I'm on the left or whatever, and the Republicans are like, "Oh, look at her purple hair," or whatever it is, or whatever gotcha they've got, and Biden stuttered, you know what I mean? You're like,
But that's what I mean.
I don't care about that. You
There's-
know what I mean? But when Trump couldn't know the difference when he was saying orange and origin, I thought that was funny. You know, so I think we're all a bit susceptible to hearing, and I think now gotchas don't mean anything because they used to be bigger because people would meet on the news and the gotcha would be heard and boom. But now everyone's got their own news.
Yeah.
No one meets and goes and watches ABC.
But
They go online to their own echo chamber, and that's where they'll hear the gotcha through the lens of this wasn't a gotcha. It's just the libs trying to fucking cut stuff down, or they'll be like, this isn't a gotcha. It's just conservatives trying to, you know what I mean? So everyone's not taking their own gotchas, and like, so if
That's
you're a
what I
right
mean, though.
winger,
There's-
a left wing meme it's not funny.
But that's
you know?
what I mean. The focus is on both sides, not just left or right. There's more of a focus with interviewing and those sorts of things about getting that one gotcha moment rather than having a genuine conversation about issues. Like,
It's not important.
I think that, and that's what Dave was getting at. He doesn't see that. He doesn't think that it's important, and I think that's because Dave looks at both sides of it from a very political mind. I'm talking about from a general perspective and a general public thing, and as far as the media and all those sorts of things, arguments get lost in translation simply because each side is going for that one gotcha moment, and that's where it breaks
Isn't
down.
that just like a
Because-
political tool, though? Really, to try and
Oh, I think it is.
take the focus off what they're actually trying to achieve by making the other team out to be something that's irrelevant. You know, and you see it all the time look at all, like, you know, focus on massive things that happens, but while that's going on, there's something happening in the background it's not in the spotlight because everyone's focusing on something else. Like it's you know.
The
Anyway.
Depp hair trial was a perfect example. It was like, and I'm obviously not taking anyone's side on this, but what it was interesting. They showed Johnny Depp getting mad and in a kitchen, all right? But the meme out of that was Mega Point, because the person questioning him was such a dickhead. He was like, "You were drinking a Mega Point." And he's like, "A Mega Point?" And that became the meme, right? But really, like, if he'd have just stopped being so fucking partisan and trying to gotcha Johnny, he could have talked about what happened in the video and but would that have made the news? Who knows? The Depp people would have heard it one way. The Heard people, if there's any of them, would have heard it another way. And like, I don't know. I remember when Trump came around at first, I was like, when he was doing the Republican nominations, there was 16 Republicans, and I was like, there's no way you can get away with that and say president. Look what he just said. What a fucking idiot. And he just starts winning the polls. And it's because I honestly feel like it's only funny to people that don't like him.
But
You know, does that
Did
make
you
sense?
see-
It's like Biden. If I like Biden, all right, to a certain extent. So when he falls on his bike, I don't think, oh, he shouldn't be president because his foot got cut in his spoke. Or
scary
whatever,
thing-
you know what I mean? But they'll be like, he has dementia. You know, he can't ride a bike.
But
So
the
it's like-
scary thing, and I understand what you mean with Trump there. I always look back to a video that I saw back when Trump was running for it. And there's a video of a lady, a middle-aged lady in hysterics, saying, he's saying what I'm thinking. You might remember that video. That in itself explains exactly how he got to the position that he was in, is because there is people that were thinking exactly what he was saying. He was playing on that. Hence these comments about he loves the poorly educated, those sorts of things, you know. He just, and I was the
That's
same as
fascism.
you. But I was the same as you, man. Like there was comments that the locker room comments, you know, we thought, how the fuck did he get in after that? Like, it was a downward spiral, but it was everything he was saying.
Talking about
afterwards.
creeping into Miss Teen Universe's locker rooms.
Like,
Fuck, if Joe Biden said that, they would be like, pedophile Biden.
well, do you
Or if
remember
Joe Biden had
when
a
he was
pig-
holding the kid and they were already after Biden? Like, it was,
Like Biden's a bit like he's a bit, you know, he's one of he's an awkward uncle-y fucking motherfucker like he is, and he'll keep gaffing. He's always for 40 years he's been a gaff machine. But and Trump's like the same.
yeah,
But his side sees it as adorable.
yeah.
They're like laughing at Joe Biden again for falling on the bike, but then his side, he had to hold a soldier's arm going down that ramp. Remember, from the stage there was like a little bit of a steep ramp, so he held the soldier's arm and he
So he
walked down
didn't
real
slide
slow.
in. Yeah.
And then people are like, nah, it's fine. It was slippery that day. And then they see Joe Biden running up it, and then the left will be like, look, see, Joe Biden can run up it, and Trump can't even. It's like, yeah, but it probably wasn't as wet that day, and he was running up it, not going down it. Like, so
A bullshit
like,
argument.
I try and
Yeah.
yeah. So everyone's trying to get it over and make the other one look stupid. And no one wants to work together because we all have our own echo chamber. Back then, we used to have a trusted news anchor that you'd listen to, you know. But now we've our own news anchors that'll tell
But
us
this
what
is
we
what I
want to
was, and this is why the question came around about the gotcha moments with social media and those sorts of things. That with the focus being more so on those irrelevant gotcha moments that take away from the progressive talk or productive. I won't say progressive, but productive conversation that leads to the changes and those things that we need. But it was just a question that I sort of was thinking about this afternoon. But before we wrap it up,
You're right. People are trying to set traps for each other.
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
they can
it's
get what
just-
they want to hear out of them.
yeah, it's not helping anybody, and I think the point I was alluding to with it is we're in the position that we're in and the situation that we're in because of that constant breakdown of communication and constantly just wanting to make the other party look like a fucking idiot rather than genuinely coming to the table and genuinely trying to make things better for everybody. But before we wrap it up, the one that I was wanting to talk to you about, I briefly spoke to you about it during the week with the January 6th hearings. Are they still going? I haven't found too much on it.
I want to see if they recommend criminal charges, but in the end, do you want to know my hot take?
Yes, I do.
I don't want Trump arrested or anything, because I battle with this, right? I think that no one should be above the law. And if you fucking break the law, even if you're the president, you go to jail. But on the second half, I have the way of what I was talking about earlier coming together. If you lock up Trump, I think that will start an ungodly fucking tsunami of shit that's just unproductive. So yeah, I think he's a criminal, but he's been getting away with criminal shit fucking since before he was president. Like they've been trying to get him in the nominations. They tried him in the general election. He was president for 4 years, and they did
Impeach
he
him.
was impeached. They did.
Would you be happy with him not being able to run for office again?
It feels wrong to me in some way because I know that that's the law. If you break the law, then you're ineligible to run for president if you broke the law in those ways. And if you become, yes, but I just don't think that the political capital's there. I don't think it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you have his whole team. They were his people, his attorney general, his chiefs of staff assistant, his whole fucking, they're all his people in January 6 hearings, talking about him being known about, look, we can get deep into him understanding what was going on, his political allies, working with Proud Boys, him purposefully not sending in help, and all this stuff in the background. But funnily enough, with the gotcha, all we're talking about is this ketchup on the wall.
Yeah.
And the fucking, you know what I mean? Because that's funny, that's the meme, and that's endearing to them. Oh, he loves ketchup, he loves burgers like us. But here's the problem. If you lock up Donald Trump, it'll be January 6th. Mega. What I want to do what Joe Biden did to him. You beat him.
Yep.
You convince people, look, this is why Donald Trump's not good. this is why Donald Trump's not good. How can you vote for Donald Trump? Well, or say to them, why do you vote for
Do
Donald Trump?
you?
He might say they might say to own the libs because fuck them. They might just, it could be as plain as simple as that, and it can be policy. It can be a whole heap of shit.
Big risks to run, considering what even in one term, the ramifications. And as you said, 10 to 15 years is the fallback from just one term of him being president. It's a lot to gamble on, I suppose, in a sense.
But that's society. If we're not good enough to convince the majority of our people not to vote for these types of people, then that's what you get.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, you can't, every time we lose or every time we're fucking unhappy with the result, just like Trump. We can't be like, nah, we have to change the system.
I'm
You know what I mean?
not
Like,
saying that.
it's just,
So we.
no, but I'm just,
Yeah.
He
I
did break
think-
but if he did break the law within the system, should we prevent him from becoming president? Probably yes. But
And
in
that's what
my
I'm getting
opinion, I just think that it'll just prolong the hassle.
Yeah. So look
just-
at, and look at us in this regard with Scott Morrison and Albo, right? In my opinion, Scott Morrison fucked up massively through his term. However, I'm not saying change the system. If Scott Morrison had got back in, that as you said, that's democracy. You live with it, right? And I wouldn't be putting
Before you
forward
go buy a
change.
gun and off yourself.
Sorry.
Before you go buy a gun and off yourself.
Fuck. There's Reese.
Reese does not represent the YouTube standards. We'd like to apologise.
Let's move on from that. That's fucking Reese with his.
I get that sentiment too, because
Yeah.
sometimes it's you take the black pill because everyone's like, oh, I'm a red pill, blue pill. Sometimes you're like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And that's what that is. And I kind of agree with it. That's why I kind of call myself a centrist now. Because I just want to have conversations with people and don't want to come at it. Even though I am slanted, I'm just trying, you know what I mean? I'm trying to come at it, and I'm trying to represent my fucking opposition's arguments in abortion because I want to be seen as having heard them. You know what I mean? Same with guns, same with all that, because I'm trying to figure out ways to convince them differently, because we're not doing a good job. Our side of the aisle, I hate calling it left, but our side of the aisle has alienated so many people and people that need a bit more time to understand and all. We've fucked them over. They won't listen to a word we say now. They think we're pedophile fucking
The bullying is both
pizza
sides.
fucking people.
The bullying is both
Yeah.
sides, and it doesn't help anybody. Trying to talk through it, and both sides being able to have their say and being heard without being shut down prior to it, in some degree, when it comes to, fucking wanting to overturn slavery laws. Yeah, that's just, I think everybody agrees it's just not going to happen. But when it comes to these, when it comes to people being heard.
Fought a civil war over it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
To be honest, aren't most of the American civilization slaves already? They work for fucking nothing and get fucking nothing. So.
That's another issue. That's a
When you
Bernie
think
Sanders
about
issue.
it,
Really,
Yeah.
it's a big picture.
Yeah, it is. But like when it comes down to what we're talking about now, with everybody being able to have this say, and Dave saying like he was about being a centrist and wanting to have that discussion, I think it's extremely important, and we've gotten away from that on both sides. Like you said, with the left side, with the left cancelling and just completely demonizing people for having a slightly, it could be an extreme different point of view, or even the slightest point of view to what they hold themselves. And then you've got the right, who's just not putting up with anything that's different or anything that's a slight change, and not being able to even start to look at things from either side of the spectrum is why we've ended up where we are. And
but we're
as you've
doing
said
good
in the
over
pa-
here.
But as you've said in the past, Dave, these people are our family, they're our friends, they're people within our community, and they deserve to be heard and have their say as much as we deserve to have our say. And we might not agree on everything, but surely we can come to some sort of agreement that is in the benefit of society as a whole. If everybody gets to have their say, because like you said as well at the start, both sides of the political spectrum want the same thing, want everyone to be healthy, safe, have, a good life. It's the means of doing that. That's where the disagreements are, and there's massive disagreements.
That's why you should take your vote seriously.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
Absolutely. And engage in conversation rather than just putting the blinkers on and shutting people down and not letting them have their say. Just, even if it's not what you agree on, let people finish and talk and have their full say, and then start to discuss it. And like Dave said before, engage in that conversation and meet them halfway. I think we've lost that as a society, not just in America. It's starting to work its way out across the pond.
Don't you think we made that? Don't you think the latest election here kind of showed Australia taking a turn, ironically, in the right direction, which is ironic.
According to us.
But you know what I mean? But like, now it is incumbent on Labour and on these coalitions to show that they do well.
They have
to show the benefit of it.
They have to step up. They have to step up. For as much as Liberals have been in power for 10 years, Labor has been, as it is their job, criticising them for 10 years. Now it is their turn to put their money where their mouth is.
Yep.
And now it is their turn to step up to the plate and listen to what people have been asking for and do and fulfill their promises, right? 4 weeks is certainly not, or more than that now, but it's certainly not enough to judge them on. But absolutely, they do need to step up, because it's a big ask to be in power, position of power and running a country. I still stand by the fact that Scott Morrison should have stayed in the fucking country rather than sipping pina coladas in Hawaii while his country was on fire, right? And on multiple occasions.
I saw memes today. Is Albo out of the country right now too?
He was in Ukraine. So, yeah, that's just...
Not exactly Hawaii.
Yeah, he was in Ukraine on a political mission. So
That's your opinion.
He was over there meeting with the Ukrainian people about the war and all those sorts of things. He was on Australian international business. He wasn't on a beach drinking beers while everyone... And yeah. And one thing that I really enjoyed recently was a video from Dominic, forget his last name, Premier of New South Wales. Yep. Defended Albo when he was asked the question.
He's a Liberal.
Yep. So they're two different parties, and he was asked the question about where was Anthony Albanese, and he was very honest and said, "I've been in contact with him. He's getting back as soon as he can." Like he was straight down the line and honest, and it shut down. This is what I was referring to before about both sides stepping up to the plate with shutting down the bullshit arguments in the media and this fake news garbage. He was straightforward and answered the question and answered it honestly, and that was it. No one could ask another question to the detriment of the situation or that conversation and the bipartisanship. So,
well, that's actually very similar to what happened with Obama, right? In New Jersey, flooded in America, and it was ran at the time by Chris Christie, who was a Republican. But Obama went there and he was like, "What do you need? Tell me what you need. Here's my direct line to me. Here's some funds." And then the Republicans were like, "Oh, Obama should be doing more." And Chris Christie was like, "Oi,
he is
fucking." And he lost so much Republican votes, and the Republicans were like, "Oh, Chris Christie's an Obama lover and all." But what that did was, people on Obama's side then were like, "Oh, Chris Christie is a good Republican." So he did more for Republicans just by doing that. Because people are like, you know what? I'll vote for Chris Christie even though he's Republican. Or John McCain. Do you remember that time when that woman was like, McCain was running against Obama for president, and that woman was like, I don't want Obama to be president because he's a Muslim. And he took the microphone out of her hand and he said, no, lady, he's a good American and a family man.
Yeah. And that got more votes for McCain.
And he said, and he would, yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Because people were like, all right. And then then Trump comes along and is like, I don't like John McCain because he got caught during war. John McCain, was in a Vietnam fucking prison for fucking years.
There's a video.
To leave
the video of him
admiral's son.
giving fucking code through while he was giving a video for the Viet Cong to send back to America. Holy fuck, man! Like,
dude, they offered him. He can't raise his arm above his head because of how much he was tortured.
Yep.
He's an admiral's son, all right, and they were trying to trade him. So he was got the chance to leave, and he said, "No, I'm not going," and gave the young private a fucking chance to leave over him, and he stayed there for months. He's a hero.
Yeah.
And Trump was like, oh, is he a hero? He got caught. I like the ones that don't get caught.
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, whoa, that guy can't become president.
That was
And
another
that was
moment.
during him running for president.
And that
Like-
was another moment that I sort of went, fuck, with how patriotic they are and how much they love the military.
Can you imagine a prime
Surely.
minister saying that about an Australian soldier? Oh, he's a prisoner of war. Not my kind of soldier.
Fuck.
McCain, you've done it again.
Yeah, I did it again.
Anyway.
Could you imagine talking about the people that were on the death marches and the you know what I mean?
fuck.
And then be like, oh, were they heroes?
Yeah, man. that'd
You would be, but he did. They were like,
be
yeah,
offended.
John McCain's fucking not a hero.
Oh,
I don't understand. But yeah, pays into everything we've been talking about tonight. But listen,
Yeah,
we've been
shit.
running for
Yeah, it's
going
this time
for
for
a good-
show.
Yeah, so look, back for the second half of the year, guys. We've got heaps more in store. We're going to try and get some more guests on. We've been talking about it and put a lot more work in. We've had that bit of a break, so thanks for sticking with us. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed another episode of Fireside Yarns. And as always, guys, here's cheers.
Oh, not
Reese.
even the can,
Yeah,
bro.
we're not ending this episode until Reese picks up a drink, whether it be water or anything.
He's got the cherry.
on.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Easy.